Oh, boy.
This thing on?
Yeah, see, this was a bad decision to have Jason Martinez join the program for the first time as one of the rotating co-hosts, because today is a day we're not going to have nostalgia and have fun.
Captain Optimism comes in today.
Yeah, I mean, you're already a miserable guy like me after the teams lose as it is. I need somebody that's going to lift. No, we don't need somebody to lift us up after that. What's up, Martinez?
Not much. How are you?
I'm. So
that was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, I mean, I have my hood up if you're watching on YouTube and when.
Can I get one of those mic screens?
No, I don't know where there would be one. There you go.
I see that. Do I sound better like that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You do. The P's aren't going to pop as much.
Okay.
There you go. Watch it on YouTube. Good morning to everybody. Live on 97.5 The Fanatic and the app. Worldwide. I'm wearing sunglasses. I have my hood up right now for the first segment at least. So don't. Mark thinks used to mail bombs and things like that before he got caught. Ted Kaczynski was.
Kaczynski.
Yes. Ted Kaczynski was his
yes.
name. Yeah, the Phillies. And so this is what we're going to try to do for everybody out there listening. And I need heavy phones today, Jason.
All right.
At 610-632-0975. The text line, you may not be aware of this. It's the same number as the call-in line.
Wait, so how does it work?
You're just, like, if you were texting me, my number, you text 610-632-0975, and you just text.
And where do I read it at?
Well, you don't read it. I don't read it. I guess I could get access. Ray, I don't think wants me to have access. But Ray Dunn will come in, and he will...
so Ray will read it?
Yes. It's not like when Mike used to read the text and argue with people via the text message.
Okay. Can Ray read?
He can.
No.
Okay.
Not really. Not well. That's how I ended up in radio.
Ray doubled my SAT score, so I think he'll be okay to read some text messages.
Okay, well, you doubled mine because I didn't take them.
That's not good. We're doing a show. 610-632-0975. Heavy phones. So it's tough because it's like, well, what do you do first? You do the Phillies first, you do the Eagles first, and do you do both? It's tough to do both. So we're going to get into the Eagles in hour number 2. So let's start with the Phillies, because that is a season ender. That was an all-time.
That's a cough it up.
That's an all-time way to lose. It really is. And I heard a lot of people say, I feel really bad for Orion Kirkling. Well, I'm glad you feel bad for Orion Kirkling. I don't feel. All else being equal, sure. I wish he would have fielded the ball and threw it to first base.
Yeah.
But I'm not in the mood to feel bad for somebody this morning, because the Phillies season that was built to go back to the World Series and win a World Series, they've fallen flat on their face. And it's not because the bullpen, and it's not because Rob Thompson's an idiot. It's not because of any of that. It's because their star players didn't show up in Game 4. And it's the same thing we saw outside of Game 3. It's the same thing we saw in the other 3 games of these series.
Yep. And
it's what we saw last year, and it's what we saw at the end of the Diamondbacks series 2 years ago.
I do feel bad, but it's not for Ryan Kirkering. I feel bad for the fans, because the fans, baseball's a long season. You put a lot into it. There's a lot of ebbs and flows and ups and downs and optimism and pessimism. And then you get to this point, and to have it end the way it ends. And, like, sports is cruel because sports ends so suddenly. Like, that's a 1-1 extra inning game last night.
And then the season's over.
And then, boom, the bus just hits a wall, and it's all done. It's like, you could be planning next week and this craziness at Citizens Bank Park and hot dogs and the whole thing, and now all of a sudden, none of it exists.
Yep.
It's not in the plans anymore. Everything's thrown out the window because Ryan Kirkering decided to try and throw home and threw to a hot dog vendor, and it ends up, they end up losing the series.
It's all right. We were planning Game 5 and what that would be like, and the amazing atmosphere.
Yeah, because you got to plan these things.
Right.
Doing this.
And because that's what you're hoping, that's what you're thinking. And all of these games, with the exception of Game 3, all the games were extremely close. And it came down to more or less one play. And last night was the same thing. Now, I'm going to tell you, I had zero confidence that the Phillies were winning that game, regardless of what happened with Kirkering. Because they would have actually had to get hits. The offense would have had to produce.
Yeah, but that's just one swing of a bat. A guy like Bryce Harper, or a guy like Schwarber.
So you were confident they were winning that game last night in the 11th
I wasn't
inning.
confident.
All right.
But I wasn't resided to the fact that there was no way they were winning the game.
When I'm watching the game, I'm not resigned to the fact they're losing this game. I'm watching the game saying this is trouble, because the more innings you give Los Angeles, the more
greater the chance.
Whose offense did you have more faith in last night scoring the first run?
Well,
the Dodgers or the Phillies at home?
The Dodgers, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So Luzardo, they pull him, which I didn't like. I don't think it was crazy. They wanted the right-on-right matchup with Hernandez. The problem is it's with Kerkering, a guy who is not good in high leverage situations, a guy that you would much rather put in behind a run than ahead a run. But you put him in with runners on base, with very little wiggle room. You're on the road, and more or less one play and it's over.
Yeah,
and
there's no margin.
No, there's no margin for error. And the one play is they got what they wanted. They got a broken bat, busted ball right to Kerkering.
Yeah.
And he fumbled it and freaked out. So the guy who you have the least amount of confidence coming up in a big spot because of that type of mentality actually does it.
Yeah.
And I have my buddy
after
Pete,
throwing the right pitch and getting the right result.
After he got exactly what you wanted.
Exactly.
And he freaked out. Poor JT's pointing to first base, and
and somehow he comes home.
It tells you all you need to know where the ball went as well. They had no shot.
Well, some people go, well, that's coaching. The coaching should have taught him to go to first base. But that's fundamental.
It's not coaching. Like, at some point, whether or not it's the hitting coach's fault or it's the manager's fault or whoever's fault, you bring in new people because you're not going to move Trey Turner. You're not going to move Bryce Harper. Is Kyle Schwarber coming back? And I hope he's coming back. After the game, he spoke. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? But honestly, I look at Turner, Schwarber, Harper with less of a emphasis on Schwarber because he carried the team the entire season and he had 2 home runs in Game 3.
Yeah,
really, Trey Turner and Bryce Harper. You guys have to come up and you got to step up and you got to get a hit at some point. Right, like Brandon Marsh sucks. He killed them last night. He gave you nothing during this series. And unfortunately, this lineup, what else do you really have to lean on? You have Bohm, who's not a power hitter that's masquerading as your cleanup hitter. You have Kepler, who's like, eh. You have Castellanos, who actually has come up with some big hits in this series. And and JT, who's your catcher. So the offense didn't look like it was enough. It wasn't. You were scared to death of your middle relief, who actually, honestly, all else being equal, they performed well. What do you think? They're going to not give up a run during the series? This is playoff baseball. Of
against
course
the
you
Dodgers.
are. Against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
On the road. Starting pitching was great. It was great. They lost this series with the starting pitching that they got. This offense again. So, is this the end of this?
No.
Is this the end of the era, or is it not the end because they have no other wiggle room to do anything else?
If it's the end, then that would be foolish. What they need to do is they need to add a dynamic to it. They need to add something else to it. Now, it doesn't have to be the best player in baseball that they add. It has to be something that changes the chemistry, the makeup of the team, the attitude of the team.
They need edge, and they need guys. They need edge, and they need guys that show up and have
some clutch.
That have some personality to it.
Yeah, they need a guy that is never going to be afraid of the big moment.
Ray Dunn, good morning. Your thoughts?
It is a morning.
It is.
Yeah, no, this is the worst.
Not a good one,
yeah.
But it's a morning.
This is the worst. Watching the end of that game, the way you say the sudden nature of it, I'm out watching the game, and they just changed the channel right to the Eagles. It's like, yeah, that's it. Like, that's the moment. That season, all you built to, 96 wins, all you did, it's gone just like that. And for Kerkering, I have sympathy for him today, more because I could see in that moment, like, just making that mistake, and he ended the season, and I can't pretend like I wasn't yelling at the television, and I can't pretend this isn't, 12 hours later having perspective on it, and in the moment I was livid. But your stars have to show up. I'm sick and tired of saying it. I'm sick and tired of walking through this storyline. What game did you win? Game 3. What did you get out of that game? 7 for 13 from the top 3 in the lineup. Last night, what were they? 1 for 14?
Yep.
That's the story. Time and time again. Thompson, yeah, there are decisions that he's going to want back from this series. But those guys are paid how much to do what? Like, that's where this all lies. That's where this comes down to. Castellanos can't be your most valuable offensive player in a series, and you expect to win it.
Trey Turner 0 for 5, Kyle Schwarber 1 for 5, Bryce Harper 0 for 4.
That's the series in a nutshell.
That's it.
And I don't feel bad for Kerkering.
Marsh gave
you
you
feel
nothing.
bad for Kerkering?
No, I mean, I'm not coming in here today being like, oh my God, it feels so bad for Ryan Kerkering.
I don't feel bad.
It's not even a thought. I don't hate him.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear me screaming
I'm not
and yelling.
pinning it on him.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, they put him in the game. This is something that you had to.
Yeah.
You put him in this situation. If you weren't expecting something like this to possibly happen, maybe not in that exact thing.
Like it's in hindsight, you go, okay. But we don't live in hindsight.
610-632-0975. 610-632-0975. My buddy Pete's already saying, I need you to start a movement to get Topper fired. And I told him, no.
You need
me.
You. Okay.
Me. And Pete
Because I'm not going to do that.
No.
I don't think he should be fired.
Topper needs to go. I'm submitting a request for you to rally the city behind this. You can pin it on me. And I said I will not support this.
Yeah, what does that accomplish?
Well, I mean,
is firing Topper going to make the top of the lineup hit next year?
Right now, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. So what's the point?
If they would have gotten swept, he would have been gone. We got to step aside. We'll take phone calls coming up. Your reaction, and who do you pin this on? Is Topper gone? That's the big question. Like Schwarber, and no one's going to say he doesn't want to come back. But what do they need to do? Your reaction. We will get to the Eagles as well coming up. It is Middays with Marks. Jason Bertitas in today. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo, Bill Colarulo, and Silva.
disappointing. It's not about the fact of this. It's not about the last play, right? It's not about that. It's just just the group that we had. I felt like that our group, even though we were down, 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that was. We've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
It's Kyle Schwarber after the game. We're back. Middays with Marks. Jason Bertinas, longtime Fanatic personality. The most popular show on the station, the Mike Missinelli Show with Jason Bertinas. He followed me. Actually, Sean Brace was briefly the producer before you stepped in to working with Mikey Miss. Not Jason Martinez, as many people were asking for the Martinez in trouble drop.
Yeah.
So, but it's very little nostalgia today.
Yeah.
At least early on in the program.
Yeah.
There, Jay.
Well, at some point we're going to have to reach gallows humor because based on what happened last night, which is just it is almost amazing what happened last night. That for the Phillies to lose the way they do after what is such a marathon season.
Yep.
And then to go into New York and get beat by a team like the New York Giants the way they did.
Yeah.
And to kind of wake up today and go, how are we supposed to feel optimistic?
And the Flyers lost last night, too. We buried the lead, Jason.
Yeah, and that's game 1 of 82, so it's a little bit more mitigated against the 2-time Stanley Cup champions. But, I mean, it's just – it's one of those things where you can't even believe what happened last night, all in one night where you have this lead-in where you're going, I got this triple header tonight. How am I going to watch it?
This is going to be the best thing
What's
ever.
on the main TV? What's on this? What's on that? And then when it's all said and done, you go to bed and you don't want to wake up. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, my goodness.
No, like the Phillies loss was devastating.
Devastating.
It was devastating because, like you said, but we've also seen that we see that happen every year. The Phillies have had great teams.
We shouldn't be
lost.
surprised.
Yeah, the Cardinals, the Giants, like they've had better teams than this, and they've lost, right? But it's a devastating
2011,
way.
right?
2011, 2010 to the Giants.
Yep.
There's been devastating ends. 1993 Phillies, that was devastating. But it was like that team reached its potential. They were in the World Series. Did this team reach its potential? The Dodgers are probably the better team.
Yeah.
Based on how the Phillies perform in the postseason. So it was devastating. What the Eagles did last night is trouble. That's trouble. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
So I think once I get into that, my
Is it
head's
a
gonna
harbinger of things to come?
Oh, no. It's as Sugar Ray once said, when it's over. That's when I fall in love again. But that doesn't make sense.
I think you and I will disagree with about that it's over.
All right.
Because I don't think that.
You a Sugar Ray fan? See,
I am not a Sugar Ray fan because I don't think this guy can sing a lick.
I don't think he can either.
What is this guy's name? Mark something?
Mark McGrath.
Yeah, he stinks.
When it's over. All right, you can put it. That's over.
He sings in the key of garbage.
Well, he's not really a singer. He's just like he's a star.
Is that what that is?
Well, he was for a minute. And then he was doing Entertainment Tonight, I think, for the last 20 years.
What was the other song? Fly he had.
I Just Want to Fly was the big one. No, like you laugh, but when I go to Wegmans, I'm a big fan of putting the earbuds in and doing my stuff and getting in the zone. When I go to Wegmans, their music is so good, I have to leave, and that's one of the ones you'll hear.
Wait, Wegmans music is good?
Music might be the best thing I've ever heard. Telling you, they should have a Sirius XM channel for Wegmans music. It's great.
See, I've never paid attention to the music of Wegmans.
Oh, my God, it's great. It can't beat it.
And I love Wegmans.
Right.
But the music was never any.
Oh, there's a whole
equation.
Reddit thing on it. You just Google it. You'll see it. All right, so let's take some focus.
Do they play Pantera at Wegmans? Is the question.
No Ozzy, no Pantera, no Metallica or anything like that. Next segment, we'll discuss the moves that were made in last night's game and whether you agreed, disagreed, totally disagreed with it. Let's go to Dave in Lower Merion. Dave, what is your reaction to what happened last night? Hello.
Yeah, hey, Sugar Ray, I need some 9-inch nails this morning. I'm trying to sit in my misery, not get out of it.
But he was saying when it's over, because it's over, Dave.
So a couple things. I don't point the blame at Topper. I think he did a good job of keeping the team together the whole season for the last 3 or 4 years. I think that's the manager's job. I don't blame Kirkering. There's two people that come to mind. I'm watching the game with my son last night. He's 10, and he asked, he said, man, we really needed Alvarado. And that would have been the piece that rounded out our bullpen.
Yeah.
I'm not over him, cheating, getting caught. I think that's a big deal. We saw the impact of that in the playoffs. And Harper, he's paid to produce. He's paid to produce. I'm sick of his swag. I'm sick of his, fancy cleats. Just go out on the field and produce in big moments. He hasn't done that in 3 or 4 years. I think he's a shell of himself. I think he's on the down slump of his career. It feels not only like the end of a season. I think this is such a hard loss because to me, it feels like the end of an era. We don't know if Schwarber's coming back. Wheeler, hopefully the guy returns, but his injury's real.
Yeah.
I think we'll have pitching next year, but the dynamic, the makeup, this team that we've been following for so many years, they're not coming back, right? Like, it's going to be a different team next year.
Is it?
And this felt like the window.
Is it? Thanks, Dave. Good call. Is it?
It is. It will be a different team, and because of Wheeler, you don't know. There is a big question mark there, but greatness in players is determined by what you do on the greatest stage.
And Bryce, for a while, was killing it. Where's that been?
And
Well,
that has been absent of late.
We'll discuss Bryce on the other side. Yeah. We have there's so many meaty things to talk about with this team because I don't think that this team is going to be back. Will some things change? Yeah, I guess there's going to be something
because some things always change.
Right, but is the core of this team going to be any different? I don't believe so. 610-632-0975. Your thoughts? Rob Thompson's moves. We'll get into them, and we'll hear from the manager coming up about this team coming up small. That's next. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
This is the worst. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 2-1 in 11 innings, eliminated 4 games by the Dodgers in the National League Divisional Series. It was a walk-off error. Ryan Kirkering threw the ball away with the bases loaded, went home when he should have went to first, and that lost the game for the Phils, but it wasn't just that, of course. Top 3 going 1 for 14 in the lineup. Same old story with this group. The bats just going cold at the worst possible time, and that is how the season ends. Schwarber talks about the end for this group.
Our group, even though we were down, 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that we've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
It was not the team that was going to do it when it comes down to it. That is the end of the Phillies season. We were acting all day here on the Fanatic to that. The Eagles lost last night, 34-17 to the New York Giants. No points in the second half as the offense sputtered once again. Hurts threw an interception in that second half, was nearly a pick 6. A lot of answers to be found, a lot of questions to be had about that offense right now. And the Flyers lost their opener 2-1 to the Panthers last night. So all around, just a bad night for Philly sports. This update's brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning reminds you there's nothing like football in King's Hawaiian Sliders. King's Hawaiian Sliders make you a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic.
when this happens, it's like your entire world comes to a stop. It's just a thud. And it's just not a good feeling. It really isn't. Especially, regular season, we were really good. We had a lot of wins, and we expected a lot more.
Yeah, we've seen good regular season baseball in this town. We're back. Middays with Marks, Jason Martinez making his co-hosting debut. Ray Diggity Dunn in the building. Ray had, was it 13 Coronas last night, Ray? How many?
If you don't count the last 7, yeah.
Okay.
About 13.
All right.
13. You put down 13, and you look normal today.
Yeah, it's a gift. It's a true gift.
It is. Wow. It's called alcoholism. For you.
If I put down 13 Coronas last night, you wouldn't see me today.
He didn't drink that many, but he was drinking the Corona can, which I had texted back to him. I'm like, that's difficult. It makes the lime awkward. The Corona bottle.
Yeah, because you can hold it upside down.
It's the perfect. Lime is the perfect complement to it. It fits perfectly in the bottle. In the can, it's kind of floating around in there to where it's like a cigarette butt in the beer can when I was in college.
Yeah.
Drank by mistake.
With the old peel lid. Remember the old peel lid, which you were always afraid to drink?
What had the peel lid?
Any kind of beer did.
No,
like
I know, but
Genesee, you peel the lid off instead of.
It was the cream ale. Was it Genesee cream ale that had
cream ale, yeah, the peel lid.
Well, you're older than me. I never drank a beer with a peel lid. I just saw my dad. Yeah, my dad probably.
Yeah, I certainly did. But that quote that just played, it's like, well, no kidding. Of course, everybody feels bad. Like, are you supposed to feel good? Yeah, we had a good regular season, but we spit the bit in the playoffs. Like, no kidding.
We did what we did last year. And by the way, like, this year felt different. Would you agree with this, Ray? Like, last year felt feeble, and these guys, I hated them last year. I don't feel the same way this year because they were in every game. I mean, literally, game 1 and game 2 were decided by 1 or 2 plays that they very easily could have won. Last night, I mean, I wish the Stars would show up a little bit more, but I felt more negative about the team and mad at the team last year. Like, right now, this morning, I'm more disappointed than anything with the Phillies.
Yeah, like that heartbreaking feeling of like this team could have done something.
Yep.
Could have given you something.
They could have.
Last year, it was like, yeah, wow, that team was dead. Like, we hyped ourselves up, but that team was dead. This year, it was like, I think I had legitimate reason to be excited about this group. And
yeah, but the results the same. So how do you feel different?
Because I don't feel like last year, the way that they played down the stretch, we shouldn't have been surprised the way the season ended. And it's like, all right, well, like, you went out there and you let the Mets kick your ass. And it's like, at least this series right here, they were competitive. And I'm much more disappointed and really, like, heartbroken this morning coming in here than anything else. I'm not angry at them. A lot of people are.
Because they were closer?
Well, because it was just that, like, they didn't lose because they got in their own head and, like, they're a bunch of losers, right? They lost because the Dodgers are the better team. Like, I mean, you feel differently?
No, the Dodgers are the better team, but I feel differently in the sense that it doesn't matter. The results are the same.
Well, it does matter.
They lost.
How you win it in this city, how you win and lose matters. The result, you're right, but we take moral victories, we take moral losses all the time.
At this point with the Phillies, no, it doesn't. Well, because it's been going on for too long. They won a World Series in 2008. They had some really good teams. 2009, they go back, they lose to the Yankees. So be it. 2011, probably the best team they had. Well, and they lost, they couldn't hit.
Ultimately, it doesn't make me feel any different about the future. As far as the feel-good feeling of, like, people are like, oh, I feel bad for Kirkering. I mean, I don't hate Kirkering. I mean, like, the
Is
way
he Bill Buckner all of a sudden?
But I don't, like, last year I had edge. I was angry last year because it was like, you know what? Like, how did you
even
lose
show
like that, man? Yeah, like, I'm not. Text. That's just good for the text line, 610-632-0975. What you think about how you feel this morning. Is there anger? So here's the moves, all right? So they pull Sanchez, and they bring in Duran.
Yeah.
Your closer. You bring him in. And this was something, I'll give Ray credit. Ray was talking about this yesterday. Like, you bring Duran in early. And, like, if it's the highest leverage situation, yeah, I guess you have to
put yourself in position.
Try to get out of the inning.
Yeah.
So he gets a ground out, runners on second and third, and Ohtani's coming up.
Yeah.
Ohtani's 1 for 17 in the series at this point.
And you walk him.
There's 2 outs. They put him on first base. I've seen a lot of discussion with this, if he was 1 for 1,017 in the playoffs, I would have put him on first base.
Yeah.
He's the MVP, and he's the best player in baseball. And he had been struggling. Duran gives up home runs. He throws 103 miles an hour. If he lets one hang,
It's gone.
Ohtani will make you pay. So I didn't have a problem with it. It doesn't mean that I wasn't worried about not having anywhere to put a runner now, which was a problem. So Betts walks, and they walk it in. And it was trouble because you could see he was overthrowing, and it was in his head. He battled back, but Betts was able to get the walk. And then Hernandez comes up. Honestly, if he would have just came in and not swung, he would have walked him too.
Yeah.
He swung at a couple of balls in that situation. But as far as the strategy from Thompson, I had no problem with them walking Ohtani. Your thoughts, Ray Dunn?
Oh, no problem at all. Because if they pitch to Ohtani and Ohtani sends one into orbit, we're sitting here today like, it's the MVP. I don't care how many times he comes up. Like,
How dumb are you to pitch to him?
Right.
You
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
All right, so there's one out. There's 2 runners on. Do you think it was the right move to move away from Sanchez?
Yeah. I had thought that they were running into a similar problem they did in the first start. Yeah, they had seen him a couple times. I think that, I forget what hits what the pitchers was on, but they had started to see his changeup in the first start. I don't know what exactly they probably started to see here, but I think they finally started to get him figured out. The bottom of the lineup had turned it back over. Let's get a fresh arm in there. And I thought yesterday, like you said, I thought we'd be talking about when they used Duran. I thought that was going to be a major storyline out of today because a lot of people think that, the closer's the closer and you leave him in the 9th inning. That was the high leverage spot. That was the spot to keep the lead. And he didn't, ultimately, but that was the spot to use him.
Yeah,
I think for me, I would have managed it similar if I was Thompson.
It wasn't ridiculous. And I had no problem with them going to Duran right there. And I had no problem with them walking Ohtani. But you say, oh, well, kind of like you don't pitch around Ohtani. Yeah, you put him on and you're going to Mookie Betts and there's.
I'll take my chances.
I'll take my chances because now you have a force anywhere. Duran gets lots of swings and misses, and he also gives up home runs. We've seen enough of him this year. Well, he'll give up home runs. There's no way I'm pitching to Ohtani.
Well, that's the thing. Having a force play with a pitcher like Duran, that his ground ball percentage is so high, that's what you're looking for. You just want a force. You want to be able to get the out, and I think that they played that right. That inning, they played it correct.
They did. So that was one. That was the problem, or people were. I heard people talking about.
So that's a feather in the cap of Topper.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work.
Ultimately, it didn't work, but not because he made a strategic error.
It was not an egregious strategic error where you said, "What the bleep are you doing?"
Yeah, had he pitched Ohtani and Ohtani hit a bomb, then that would have been an egregious error.
Right. Even though people wanted him to pitch to him there because he was 1 for 17. Oh, my God, if you pitch to Ohtani and he wins the game, because you have runners on base, that's not a solo home run.
No.
Yeah. A 1-run lead. 610-632-0975. People, we appreciate people holding. We'll get to some phone calls coming up next segment. Also, earlier, my friend Pete said, all right, start the movement, get rid of Rob Thompson. Bryce Harper asked about Thompson's future in the postgame. What did he say? We have that coming up right after this. It's Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia is a sports city full
idea. I think that's a Dombrowski question. But obviously, we love Topper in here. He's been great for us. And
All right, Bryce. I mean, hey, Bryce is going to give you the stock answer every time. He's going to support Rob Thompson. We're back. I believe Rob Thompson's back. The question of would I bring him back?
You would.
I would. He won 96 games, and I can't look at this series and say the primary reason, or even. I don't know. Because I look at the lineup, but the decision by Rob Thompson to bunt was a horrendous decision, and I totally disagree with it. I think it's a loser mentality to play for a tie with a bunt. And by the way, you're not scoring a run; you're getting a guy to third base.
So there's no guarantee.
No guarantee at all. I mean, how many times we see in baseball they don't get the runner in? There's an out now. There's not no outs.
Yeah,
so you get one crack at getting a sacrifice fly, but I mean, overall, I thought. I'd be curious to see what people say or what people are saying on the text board. Overall, I don't think Rob Thompson was that bad.
Let me ask you this.
Yep.
And this may be a conversation for later down the line. What's the fix? What does Johnny Marks think they need to do to avoid this situation next year?
Well, I feel like that is a much deeper, longer conversation that we'll have in the next couple of days. But it's
too emotional to roll right now.
Well, but they need to change the dynamic of the team. Is what they need to do.
Exactly.
You can't run it back. And last year they tried not to run it back. They tried to move Bohm. They tried to do some other things. Unfortunately, there's no market for Bohm for what they were looking for. So you're gonna run it back this year? You can't. And part of the problem is if you bring Thompson back, then you're really running it back. Does the hitting coach, Kevin Long, do they get rid of him? I don't think so. He's thought of very highly in the organization. So, I mean, seriously, what are you going to do? You're going to overpay Bader to come back, and who knows if he's the same player that he showed over a month after he was traded to the Phillies. I don't know. It's a much deeper conversation. I had said after they lost last year that the window was closing and it was closer to being shut than open, and their best chance to win a World Series had long passed them. And I feel even more like that right now.
So you feel like this year, even though it was closer this year to them being able to advance, the window is still more shut this year than it was last year.
Well, last year they sucked, but the guys are now a year older.
So that doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
If you thought that they sucked last year, but they were closer this year, then the window was more open this year than it was closed last year.
No, the window was definitely more open this year, how the season played out.
Okay.
For sure. The season played out. This team had a much better chance. They lost to the Dodgers. This is still a good team.
Yeah.
If they would have played some other teams in the playoffs, they wouldn't have won. This team didn't have the look of the Mets last year. But the big picture view of it is, are they good enough to win a World Series now? With the group that they have.
Because that's what it's all about. It's not about anything else at this point. It's about being able to win a World Series. That we agree. We agree.
Does anybody feel good about them winning a World Series now?
No.
That's Jason Martinez.
I don't know how you could.
What's the text line before we get a phone? We have some text.
What's the text line telephone number here?
610-632-0975.
Brenton.
Oh, is that what it is?
610-632-0975.
Yeah.
6-1.
You could call or text us.
Call or text us.
Brenton texting us, Topper has to go. Castellanos, Kepler, and Kevin Long can hold the door for each other. Marsh can stay as a bench piece. 75% of the bullpen needs to be replaced. Need to use the money to re-sign Schwarber and Suarez if possible. Need to get a real cleanup hitter like Alonso to get Harper better pitches. Bohm should be hitting no higher than 6 in a contending lineup.
Yeah, but so Bryce is moving back to right field and you're signing Alonso. You can't sign Schwarber and Alonso and Ranger Suarez. The Phillies,
Right.
the Phillies spent a lot of money. They can't have a bottomless pit. There is a
tipping point.
Well, would they pay for Robertson for they paid him like $22 million or like
No, you got 5.9
prorate?
was the prorate amount. Then with the luxury tax, you're probably paying about $12 million.
Pay $12 million for more or less a month of Robertson, which is crazy.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money. And by the way, even though these people are rich, guess how they're rich? By not spending $12 million on David Robertson.
By knowing how to not to spend money.
Let's go to Aaron in West Philadelphia. Aaron, what's up, buddy? How are you? Aaron, hello.
Best call of the day.
Aaron, hello. Let's try. Who do we want to go to? Zach. Zach's in Delaware. Zach, what's up?
How's it going, guys?
Hi, Zach.
Hey, yeah, I just going forward, you guys would just hit the nail on the head. Like, this team just can't spend $300 million in the offseason. There's a tipping point. My question is, going next season, obviously I think they should retool, but is this the last year? I mean, you got to think, because after that, there's a pending lockout in the MLB. Is Dombrowski and Middleton, are they going to say, listen, we're going to spend a lot of money and throw a ton of more contracts and do this one more time? That's my big question. I think they should retool, absolutely. I think a lot of writers out there, rumors saying Ketel Marte's an option. I think you let Schwarber walk. You try to get something for Bohm. You're going to have to trade prospects to get rid of Cassie's contract because no one's taking that contract for $20 million for next season.
No, but you know what you do? You pay 60% of it. And then Castellanos is the guy that they're paying $7 million for a year.
Yeah, who's also a head case, you know what I mean? But that's just another point. I think you got to, for Alvarado, I think you got to pick up that player option. I mean, that's an easy option, I think, at that point, because who are you going to get if you don't want to spend the money or trade for anybody? What's your
finger pointing takeaway from this series?
There's an issue with these guys. I kind of agree with you guys. I don't think Topper should go. I think going back to last season, did Middleton and Dombrowski tell Dombrowski, I can't spend any more money? I mean, there's something wrong with this lineup, and did Topper say, I can fix it? Because if that's what it was, then Topper should go. But if it wasn't, I think he redeemed himself last night, throwing in Luzardo. I think he pulled it out on the table. I mean, the lineup just didn't show up. I mean, there's something with these guys that's in their head or something. It's crazy.
Look, winning a championship is really hard in sports now. You got to have some luck. You got to be playing your best at the right time. And it's really hard to win.
And in baseball, it's so quirky.
Yeah, it is. So many variables can go wrong. Like you think you've seen everything in sports. I'm 53. I think I've seen everything in sports, and I still watch sports, and I go, I've never seen that before.
I've never seen the way the Phillies game ended, and then to have the Eagles get curb stomped by Scatterbo and Dart and the Giants.
And 2 weeks before, block 2 field goals to win a game.
How fluky does that win look now?
I've never seen it before. And I've watched a ton of sports, and things can happen. It's really difficult to win. You need some luck. You don't want to rely on luck. You want to put yourself in the best position to not have to rely on luck. But you need your big-time players like Bryce Harper to be your guarantee that you're going to get at least that.
Oh, no.
You haven't been able to get
that. The takeaway from the series is Harper and Turner.
Totally.
And the rest of the supporting cast. Schwarber carried them all season long. It's Harper Turner.
He gets the pass.
Yeah, he does. He gets a pass. Harper Turner. That's it. I love Bryce Harper. I do. He's one of my favorite Phillies ever. Harper Turner.
Yeah.
You got to step up. The offense sucked. You got to step up. And as far as Dombrowski, and I know we're going to the break here, Ray. As far as Dombrowski and Topper, I think it's the last year for both of them. Next year is the Dombrowski he'll go to Nashville or whatever else. This is where you go for it. And if it doesn't work next year, that's where you have to now evaluate where you are as a franchise and say, you know what, are we going to try to run this back again? The Phillies kept trying to run it back until it was so painfully obvious they couldn't run it back. Ruben gets fired, and they go for a youth movement. They didn't make the playoffs for 10 years.
The weird thing about Ruben, though, is Ruben made the team better.
Yeah.
They just didn't win.
Well, but when the Jimmies and the Chases and Ryan Howard,
he didn't move on fast enough.
Well, he didn't. No, and a lot of that was above his head.
Yeah, that was dictated by ownership.
Ownership was selling out the park.
Yep.
And making a ton of money.
Yep.
So they wanted to keep it alive, man. You can't do it.
And you understand it.
610-632-0975. I guess we're gonna throw the Eagles into the conversation, Ray. I want to have 2 separate shows today.
I think we have to throw this Eagles in the conversation.
All right.
Because that was disgusting.
Well, Phillies talk coming up next. Should Thompson come back? I think the Eagles are done. I think the Eagles are done. This is 2023 all over again.
I saw people last night saying that Nick Sirianni's job was in trouble.
Well, I
was like, you're kidding me.
I'm not surprised at that.
He's going to 2 Super Bowls and won one.
If you
were
the
years.
Coach in the world.
If you would fire Nick Sirianni, 610-632-0975 or on the text line. Eagles added to the conversation. Coming up next, we'll empty out the text line, take your phone calls as well. Don't go anywhere. This is Middays with Marks. Jason Martinez in the chair today. Don't go anywhere.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Well, this is brutal. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. Phillies lost 2-1 in 11 innings last night. They're eliminated in 4 games by the LA Dodgers in the National League Divisional Series. It was a walk-off that came courtesy of an error by Ryan Kirkering. Threw home, threw off the mark. Probably should have went to first with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 11th. The Dodgers move on. The Phillies season comes to a close. Top 3 of the lineup went 1 for 14 in what became a storyline throughout this series. They win the game where the top 3 go 7 for 13, and they lose the other 3 games in this series. That's all for the season. One of the top 3 in the lineup. Kyle Schwarber talked about the end of this year.
Our group, even though we were down 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that was, we've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
And they were not the team that ended up doing it. As for the other teams in town, pair of losses. Eagles lost 34-17 to the Giants. No points in the second half for them. Hurts threw an interception, nearly went for a pick 6 in that second half. And the Flyers lost their opener last night 2-1 to the Panthers. This update's brought to you by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole department inside your Macy's store where you can find the looks all for under $30 with new arrivals every day. You never know what you'll find. Find location at Macy'sBackstage.com. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5TheFanatic.com.
All right, we're back. It is Middays with Marks on 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN and WPEN HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Jason Martinez. I can't even call you Martinez anymore because there's an actual Jason Martinez works for Fox 29. Good dude.
Yeah, he kind of screwed everything up.
And he's like really, really handsome and tall, and
I get tagged sometimes, and it's him, or vice versa, and I'm like, he is way too handsome.
yeah, that's not Martinez.
Like, I am not a TV guy.
You're not.
I am much better heard than seen.
Correct. Yeah, you can have a dip in your mouth if you were doing TV.
Yeah. Like, if you're doing TV, you're just like, you got to be polished looking. Like I look like roadkill, especially at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've been going through chemo treatments for a long time, so you're
I'm a little weathered. I'm a little
but
beat up.
you were a little weathered before you got cancer too.
Let's be fair. Let's be fair about it. You're right about that. I've never been the most well kept.
Well, I mean, let's not go too crazy.
Yeah, like I shower and all that.
No,
stuff,
you're still your wife's an attractive woman. You're still a handsome man. Get a little older.
a little bit.
We'll get some text. Ray, you told me that the text line is very supportive of Rob Thompson and agrees with me.
Yes, they're really, really supporting Rob Thompson coming back. Lifetime extension is actually what we're getting right now on the text line.
Gotcha.
So a lot of people thrilled with this
Lifetime extension.
And we got basically the one-line text of Thompson must go 4 or 5 times. We have if Topper can't make players hit, then why fire any manager or coach? Bochy got fired and won a World Series 2 years ago.
So I mean,
is that his job to make players hit?
Here's what it is. If this happens again next year, you have to move on, because yes, it is his job, but it's not necessarily, he can't do anything about it really, right?
So it's not his job.
When guys don't hit, well, it will cost him his job. Like, for example, I remember when they fired Milt Thompson as the hitting coach, and he was with the Phillies. They won a World Series. Yeah. Did he all of a sudden forget how to be a hitting coach? No, the guys weren't hitting anymore. So you bring in a new voice, and you hope that it jumpstarts them. Yeah. Joe Girardi got fired, and the team was a totally different team afterwards. Like, did Rob Thompson come in, and was he teaching them to hit and pitch? No, but guys liked him.
Yeah, it's the message and the messenger changes,
right?
And it puts everybody on notice, and it changes the dynamic.
Yeah, and is that necessary? Larry Boa, who is maybe my favorite all-time Philly, certainly all-time Philly personality, and like he was wired a lot differently than Charlie Manuel.
Oh.
He hated losses, and after a while,
he wore them.
And he wore them.
Yeah.
And those guys, when they came into work, let's say they lost 3 straight games, they know what Larry's going to be like, right? So you bring in Charlie Manuel, who is totally different, and the guys respond differently, right?
Yeah, yep.
So that's what the hope is. So
it cut the tension.
That's why you would move on from Rob Thompson, because if it's not working with the players who aren't going anywhere, then now do you say we need a new messenger and we need a new voice in the clubhouse? Yeah. I don't think they're there yet.
I don't think they're there yet either. And the big thing is, first of all, with Bo, it wasn't hit. It was hit. We got to hit. Like he always said, hit. This team can hit. And they can. But they don't when it matters.
But you know what they need? Larry was the perfect balance to Joe Torre. Joe Torre could be the guy that was the father figure that didn't go after guys.
He moved slow.
Larry was the fiery guy that wouldn't mind being the bad guy. And I don't know if they have a bad guy on the staff.
And usually it's the other way around. Usually it's the manager that's the bad guy and the bench coach or the assistant that's the good cop.
You need a different dynamic and personality in this clubhouse, because it's not working.
Yeah.
And if that's you're bringing in a different coach, you're bringing in a different manager, Ray Dunn, if you're bringing in different players, I don't want to run this back again next year.
Oh, they need a different dynamic. They need to change things. I mean, you are locked into Turner and Harper. Everything outside of that lineup-wise, Schwarber, I think, is more of a personal thing of what he wants to do. Right. But everything around that, like, you can move. You can start to shift this. I think JT's back just because I don't think there's a real logical replacement for JT.
JT's back, and I don't think he'll have a big enough market that will price the Phillies out of it. And they need him.
Well, the big question is Wheeler.
Well, I still think the starting pitching is going to be fine. Luzardo's back. Sanchez is back. I don't know if there's any way you're re-signing Ranger Suarez because you paid Aaron Nola all that.
We got a text saying that they would take Suarez over Schwarber because they just want the good pitching at this point, and they've seen the postseason go cold. I mean, you could do 4 hours on that, back and forth, really.
610-632-0975.
That's in August. But, but you're right. But the Wheeler thing's a big part of the equation, too.
I'm just isn't everybody assuming Wheeler's not going to be back to start the season, and it's a matter of he could be back at some point?
But what is he when he comes back?
To your point, honestly, I can't look at him and say he's going to be Zach Wheeler of old, and I can rely on him to be their ace.
Yeah.
I won't think of him. Like, if we get into spring training, it's like, no, he's fine. But like right now,
Yeah, I'm not banking on that.
I am not. Let's go to Aaron. Aaron is in West Philadelphia. Aaron, go ahead, man. What up?
What's up, Johnny?
What are you doing?
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm
Good
feeling.
to see you back on the radio. You don't remember me, man, but that's all right.
Well, Jason remembers you, though. We saw you up on. He said, I remember this guy.
It's a different Aaron than I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Aaron from West Philly, man. I used to always call the radio station, which I got.
What's up?
All right, but let me talk about this, man. I had my powder blue Mike Schmidt go back on, my Phillies hat on. I go into the den, the basement. Them guys all Eagles fans. And, they really don't care about the Phillies to a certain extent. They like them, but they don't really care. I was turning on the Eagles game and all that, back and forth. So when when I see him coming up, I'm like, the moment is too big for him. The moment is too big for him. I felt that in my spirit. No, we don't need him out there. It's too big for him. Right? So can you still hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead.
Okay, it's too big for him. So I'm like, and when I saw that, and I saw him fumbling the ball and all that, I was like, oh, my God, it's over, right? I already knew it was over. I already knew. But I got a lot of blame to go around because the pitcher, I'm the one that ends the game. I'm getting his name right now because I'm hyped. I was very disappointed.
Kirkring.
Why did they walk him? No. The one
Ohtani.
that ends the game. Yeah, with a time.
Duran.
He shouldn't have walked him. I don't believe he should have walked him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe he should have walked him. Then if you walk him, why aren't you going at the next hitter hard? He's playing around in the zone. Then he walks him. I was mad about that. How you walk in the damn run? You're supposed to go at the play. Yo, man, see, I'm a hype Phillies guy, bro. That was wrong. And I'm going to give you why Topper was wrong.
Why?
He should have had Morris bat number 5.
Yeah,
He got him bat number 5.
I totally thank you. I totally killed him last night.
Yeah.
Again, didn't we think we were getting a new and improved version of like Marsh? He helped carry them late in the season. Really good September, really good August.
Yeah.
I think it was since sometime in May. He was a much different player. And then, man, you bet him 5th.
Wheels fell off the wagon.
And that's getting outmanaged here by Dave Roberts. If we're having the Thompson conversation, Roberts' lineup adjustment, where you have the 2 righties following Ohtani, made it very difficult for the Phillies to find a pocket of that order they could throw a lefty against. With the Phillies lineup, it was very easy. You get past Turner, give them a lefty because you can go Schwarber, Harper, whatever happens with Bohm, happens with Bohm. He's probably not going to hit a home run to punish you, so you're fine with that. And then Marsh is sitting right there for the pickings.
But the Bader injury is really underrated. What happened in this series?
It looms large in the series, but it's one of those things that when you go to the fine-tuned points of managing, Roberts put his lineup together that made it difficult for the Phillies bullpen. The lineup that they trotted out there made it easier for the Dodgers to manage a weaker bullpen.
All right, we're gonna add the Eagles in the conversation after this because that was as bad of a loss last night as you're gonna see. And it looked like it was 2023 all over again. 2023, they were finding ways to win games, and then when it went to hell, it went to hell. It feels like it went to hell already. That's coming up next. It is Middays with Marks. Jason Bertidis co-hosting today, 97.5 The Fanatic. right. Yeah, damn it. Why couldn't they space this out more? If the Phillies win last night, we're so happy and we're being like, yeah, can't wait. Game 5. Let's go. Are you selling your tickets or are you going? I would have sold them. But
You sold tickets?
I would have. Then go? Yeah, I when they got no hit, I had 4 tickets to the no hitter in the World Series. Now I got them from my contact at the Phillies, so I would never put them on the secondary market. And they were going for $3,600 on.
I'd have sold them.
No, I know, but I couldn't because they were given to me as a favor by the Phillies.
Yeah.
It was like it might have been $350 the face value. I actually saw Mike it was the first time I had seen Mike since we had some disagreements. Saw him at the game, same section, and we took a picture together. Whatever, but so all week long I'm being like, what are these going for on $3,600? And it was $350 face value.
Yeah.
Do the math. After fees and stuff, you're clearing $3,000 a ticket.
Yeah, it's not
For
bad.
4 of them, not bad. So if I would hit,
That's a lot of diapers.
if you won the lottery and you're going and you have Game 5 tickets, I'd sell them in a second because you can make too much money off it. But anyway, we don't have that. We don't have that dilemma.
Yeah, that's out of the equation.
Because Kirkring threw the ball away, and we would be able to complain about the Eagles for 4 hours today.
Yeah.
And now we have to actually try to fit it in because of what happened with the Phillies. Let me just say this: this is as far as alarm. This is a 5 alarm fire with the Eagles right now.
You're calling in other departments.
This is you have to call in the neighboring townships.
Yeah.
Losing
the Euclid Township's coming in for this one.
Right. And like Rodney Bird's our engineer, he's also showing up.
Yeah.
In the just as regular.
Ridley
car.
Fire Department's coming in.
This is trouble with a capital T. The fact that anytime you have player meetings or a players only meeting,
That's being debated.
That's trouble. We'll play that from AJ Brown coming up because AJ's trying to be cute because he doesn't want to talk about it. But the fact that you come out and I know they're beat up and Jalen Carter didn't play and the offensive line's a mess, but still, after the loss against Denver, I came out on Monday and I said, this is a Nick Sirianni problem. You're not calling you're not calling the plays. This isn't quote unquote your offense. You hired your buddy. You didn't bring in a Kellen Moore from the outside. This is now on you. If you're paid to be the CEO that solves all these problems, you got to figure this out. And I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do, but this is a Nick Sirianni problem now. And they came out and they looked the way that they did, and they got boat raced in the second half against the Giants. Scatterbo is running around flexing, looking like the second coming of Jeremy Shockey. So annoying.
Yeah.
And you lose 34-17 to the New York Giants.
Yeah. And the Giants stink out loud. Like, it's one of those
Not anymore.
things. They still stink out loud. And the thing about it is any time that Sirianni's hired one of his boys, it hasn't worked out well.
Well, and that's why it looks like 2023 all over again.
Yeah. And the ugly part about this is this looks nothing like the team last year that used to just put teams away in the second half. And I don't know how concerned we should be about Saquon Barkley. I don't know how concerned we should be about the offensive line. But Tula and the play calling, the only time he's got any creativity is because he found the play sheet that Andy Reid used in goal line situations with Dallas Goedert.
Right.
With these little shovel passes. Other than that, they're as predictable as it gets.
Yep.
And it's not working.
And
you have a half where Jalen Hurts looks great and another half where it looks like he hasn't played football before.
Yeah, if you remember back to 2023, even when they were winning, they were finding ways to win. And I remember saying the same thing. Give them credit, they're finding ways to win.
Yeah.
But the offense, and then when it fell apart, it fell apart. And it was as much about the X's and O's as it was about the Jimmies and the Joes.
Yeah.
I know I said that a couple times this week. But it wasn't just about the offense. It was about there was something going on inside. There was an internal problem that was going on.
Yeah.
So they were never going to do anything when that's the case. The same thing is happening now.
Because you have the Civil War being fought. You can't win the war when the Civil War is being fought inside.
Everybody needs to be pulling in the same direction. And I think Nick Sirianni did a great job. Everybody last year, that's what you had. They turned it around for 2023. Yep. You're right back there.
Yeah.
You're right back there. You're having meetings from the Stars are having a meeting after 5 weeks. They're 4-1.
Well, here's the thing. you've gone in 2 very important games to A.J. Brown for the first target of the game late in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Patel, what's wrong with you?
Saquon Barkley looked good last night early.
He did. He 18-yard rush at one point early in the game, and then it just evaporates.
Yep.
It goes away. The week before, last week, he ran one time in the second half. This is Andy Reid-esque. You have a huge lead, and you're throwing the ball.
Yeah, the Eagles were right there. Were they inside the 20, Ray, or were they near the 20? The interception, the Hurts interception. They were driving.
They were inside the 20. Felt like they were going to score.
It did. And that would have put them down 1 score, and they very much could have had the momentum. Jalen Hurts makes a horrendous pass behind the receiver. He had A.J. Brown. I saw on Twitter one of the film guys out there gives it all 22 look of it. And on that interception, A.J. Brown's coming out of his break, and he's already got separation, and he's got the entire half of the end zone. That's a ball where you put in the corner of the end zone. It's an easy touchdown throw.
And he goes and gets it.
There was nobody over there. A.J. had the corner beat. He goes over and gets it. With an elementary B throw that any high school quarterback should be able to make, that's a touchdown. Meanwhile, either he doesn't see him, he doesn't have confidence to make that throw, so he checks it down and he goes to, I think it was a Dotson that he went to? Or was it
Dodson.
It was Dotson. It's thrown behind him. Dotson's not a big guy, so he's not coming back and wrestling the ball away from him. And it's almost a pick six the other way, and that was the game because the Giants score.
Well, the overthrow to Devontae Smith was absurd. No. Devontae Smith was open by 15 yards. And
it's as bad as it gets.
You score that touchdown, you probably win the game.
It still felt like even early, it felt like, are they really going to lose this game? But even late when they're on that drive, I don't know if you felt like that, Ray.
What, that they're going to come back and win?
The drive that he threw the interception, I was like,
oh, yeah.
They're getting it together. They got it.
Yeah, I had the, so the Phillies lost. That'll be everything. The Eagles will come back and win. It'll be an ugly win. We'll begrudge it. We'll moan about it for the next week and a half, but they'll be 5-1. We can do that whole thing again. When he throws that interception, that was like, whoa. Like, when you say the 2023 feeling, that was the, oh, no. Like, because now you've lost 2 in a row. That play, AJ should have gotten it. He's livid about that. And then he talks after the game, and it starts to go down the line of like, the domino effect of that interception feels like a week and a half of just misery inside of NovaCare and misery for us talking about it.
Remember at the end of 2023, there was the loss to the Cardinals. Everybody kept saying, well, they're not going to lose this game. Like, if they lose, this is for the division. Like, they need to win this game. This is a must-win. They're at home. And they kept losing these games, and it was like, are they going to recover from this? Yeah, what is going on?
They were in a total tailspin.
The funny thing about that whole tailspin is the only game they win is the Giants game.
The Giants game, right.
Yeah.
And then they get blown out by the Buccaneers. That's what this team looks like right now. No confidence in the quarterback, no confidence from the quarterback. Internal issues, play calling issues, inexperienced offensive coordinator. I mean, this is a carbon copy of what you saw in the second half of 2023.
I'm the dumbest coach in the world.
But the thing about this is it's early in the season. They still did go 4-0 against the hardest part of their schedule.
So you're positive, Martinez.
I'm not positive.
I can't go there.
I'm not positive. And last night was embarrassing.
I'm putting my we're talking about the Eagles now. I'm putting my sunglasses on.
Okay, so you're going back into incognito mode.
Yeah.
But the thing is there's still time to figure it out.
No, you're right. You're right.
But what they need to do is they probably need to shut Dickerson down until after the bye week because he is not right.
I'm with you in this entire thing. I think you have to limp to the bye.
Yeah, you have to limp into this bye week, and then you have to come out of the bye week hitting on all cylinders again.
You know what I think we're seeing a lot right now? You know why it's so hard to win back-to-back Super Bowls and why very few teams do it? Injuries.
You can pick the part.
Like everything that went right for you last year didn't go right this year.
Yeah.
Now you're injured. The strength of your team, your offensive line,
turnover.
The strength of your team on defense was not replaced. They struggle to get to the quarterback. The defense doesn't look the same. It's still early. You had Vic Fangio, so you're not dealing with the defensive coach in 2023 was horrendous. That's why they fired the defensive coordinator
and brought in Fangio.
And Pencil Boy has to take over as defensive coordinator during the season. But all right, we'll start with Matt. So a lot of times, Jason, if you listen to the radio shows, they put people in the air like, you know what? This guy will make the audience feel better. I do the opposite. I put people on that make the audience feel worse. That's Mad Mike. He'll lead us off on the other side.
Mad Mike.
610-632-0975.
I'm so looking forward to Mad Mike to make me just uplift my
I
spirit.
developed him in my time since I left here into the most hated caller in the history of Philadelphia sports.
And we're going to him next. Well, you know how to sell a segment.
I do not want to feel better. I want to feel worse right now.
Okay.
That's coming up next. Also, A.J. Brown. He took a can of gasoline and he threw it on the fire after the game last night. We'll address those comments and we'll play them for you as well. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
This is the worst. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 2-1 in 11 innings, eliminated in 4 games in the National League Divisional Series by the Dodgers. It was a walk-off for L.A. as Ryan Kerkering threw the ball away, trying to go home with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Could have went to first, chose to go home, threw it away, and that is how that game ended. 2-1 the final. The Phillies lose that game. The top 3 of the order went 1 for 14 in that game. A recurring storyline throughout this series for the Phillies, and that wraps up the 2025 season. Kyle Schwarber spoke post-game about this group.
Our group, even though we were down, 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that we've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
But this team did not do it. The season is over. What else to look forward to in town? Well, the Eagles lost 34-17 to the Giants. Didn't score any points in the second half. Hurts threw a big interception late in that game that was nearly returned for a pick 6. And the Flyers lost their opener last night to the Panthers. This update is brought to you by Aleve. Traffic and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. Just one pill. Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Ray Dunn on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Oh, the meeting never ran.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Those guys did that.
No, you ain't talked to them.
You weren't in the meeting?
I don't recall.
It's A.J. Brown after the loss. I have to put the sunglasses back on just because this is like my break from reality when I put this on. I don't have to face reality.
You're still in reality. Those glasses are not.
Everything's fine.
No, everything's not fine.
The fire GIF is not. There's no fire. Everything's fine. We're not in a burning house right now. Everything's fine. All right, let me take it off. All right,
get those things off.
A.J. Brown after the game. Jason says it's five games in, or is it 6 games? 6 games in now.
6 games,
and he's right. If you're going by the logic of it's still early enough to where you can fix things. I am looking this as like it may get worse before it gets better.
It could.
You got the Vikings and then the Giants.
You got a problem against the Vikings. If Quinyon Mitchell can't go against the Vikings, and you got Justin Jefferson, you got problems. And because now you can put Cooper DeJean on him, but there's a trickle down effect. So you could have problems this week. Then you get the Giants. I like the close proximity of the Giants' revenge game coming up, not this week, but the week after.
If they can't beat the Giants in 2 weeks at home after the way they got their ass kicked last night.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing watching the end of that game and just they're handing it off to Scatterbo and he's just running over everybody.
Jackson Dart, right?
Oh my God, they are so annoying and I hate them. If you can't come back and beat them, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah, but let's not go there yet. They got the Vikings this week, and I think it's going to be tough this week. But if you come back, you beat the Giants, then you go into your bye week. Now you can start to get a little healthy, get Dickerson back, because he hasn't looked anything. He's dealing with like 19 injuries.
I agree that how a team is playing right now, and the Eagles are 4-2. They're not 2-4 or whatever.
And both losses came in the AFC.
No, they just lost to the Giants.
Or they lost to the Giants, you're right.
Yeah, but one's a non-conference loss.
Yeah,
so it
one's a
doesn't
non-conference
matter.
loss.
Right? So maybe you can be like, okay, it may be tough to have the number 1 overall seed because the way they rolled last year. But in theory, there is plenty of time, and how you're playing after 6 weeks has no bearing on how you're playing week 16, week 17. It just doesn't. Or even week 12. There's plenty of time to turn it around. But it's too similar to what happened in 2023. If I didn't feel like this team hated each other and there was division in the locker room, I'd say it was fine. If Kevin Patullo wasn't the offensive coordinator and we didn't have what happened with Brian Johnson 2 years ago, I'd feel much better. If Nick Sirianni, who in 2023 had no answers, he's the one that's supposed to be able to step in and say, okay, listen, you're like Andy Reid. Andy Reid is in full control of the offense to where he can let the other guys call plays. And he knows that he can reel it in whenever the hell he wants to, right? Nick Sirianni can't do that. So whatever offense, there's a reason why Kellen Moore came in last year as a guy who had a totally different offensive philosophy than their offensive head coach. And they ended up running the Jalen Hurts offense because nobody can bring in an offense to run the Jalen Hurts offense. The Jalen Hurts offense is let's get it to 3rd and 1 so we can run 4 or 5 straight touch pushes, which is what they did last night.
Do you realize that Nick Sirianni's coached in 74 games and he's won 52 of them?
Unbelievable. He's the first coach in NFL history to start 4-0, I think, in 4 seasons or 3 seasons.
His first,
like
so much good.
First 5 seasons in the NFL. And there's 3 other coaches that have coached to a higher winning percentage than him. One of them was Madden, that's coached a certain amount of games.
Yeah, sure. No, he has a Hall of Fame coaching resume so far if you look at his wins.
He's got a 703 winning percentage.
For sure. So you believe in him?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Even though when he first came in, I was like, this dude's pandering and all that stuff. I think he can get it straightened out because I think for some reason his message works in that room.
It does.
As a leader of men, I have no idea why. It doesn't make sense to me. But
We all fertilize.
yeah, I mean, it's strange. It's all a little strange to me sometimes. But the fact of the matter is the results speak for themselves. This isn't a small sample size anymore.
There's dysfunction on this team that a lot of times starts with the head coach, and it works. He can yell at fans. He can yell at our own fans. He can yell at fans in Kansas City or in Indianapolis.
Yep.
And for whatever reason, The guys respond and feed off of that.
Yeah.
But it didn't work in 2023.
It didn't. It's not going to be perfect. But look, the whole arc of A.J. Brown, this is it. This is the last year. You're not going to trade him during the season.
No, I would agree with you. If it continues to go like this, he's a Patriot next year or something like that.
Yeah, he's gone. And you move on and you try and find somebody else. But for this season, they got to find a way to get him back on board.
But the fact that everybody kind of knows that, and everything that I hear is that he is loved in that locker room.
A.J. Brown.
Correct. So what does that tell you? If he's loved universally, locker room, front office, coaching staff, what does that tell you about the quarterback?
So you're alluding to the fact that this is a huge quarterback problem. We're back to Carson Wentz.
On and off the field, when they lose, what happens?
He always gets all the blame.
Division. Well, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
But in the locker room, you know why? Watch him throw the ball. Jalen Hurts is an amazing winner that is a Super Bowl MVP, and he deserves those flowers. He does it unlike any other quarterback I've ever seen in the modern era.
Yeah.
He threw the ball great in 2 Super Bowls. He did. Like, how's he throwing it right now? Looks like a backup.
Yeah, not well at all.
Let's go to Mad Mike. We said that we need some feel goods. We're not going to get it from Mad Mike. He joins us right now. Mad Mike, how are you? May need to punch him up because I'm unable to punch up anybody in here. Right done. Mad Mike, hello. Go ahead. RR4, there it is. Mad Mike, hello.
Hey, how we doing here?
Hi, Mike.
Jason Martinez, you're back.
What's up, Mad Mike?
Hey,
you here to make me feel good or make me feel like crap?
I'm not going to make you feel good.
Definitely.
That's creepy. Jalen Hurts is a fraud, complete fraud. He has to be the most protected quarterback in the NFL. And Mr. Magoo, head coach, just wandering around, collecting wins but not doing anything. Like
he won a Super Bowl.
Fraudulent.
You gotta just let him go.
And he didn't do anything. He just stood on the sidelines, did nothing, talked about flowers. He's a moron. Let's be honest. He's a moron.
You cannot win in pro sports and be a moron anymore.
That love this moron. He's a moron.
Yeah, Buddy Ryan could get away with being Buddy Ryan in 1988.
Yeah,
he couldn't coach today.
You can't win a championship in sports now and be a moron, Mad Mike.
He'll disagree.
What does he do? Tell me what he does.
He won a Super Bowl. He went to 2.
But you're not telling me what he did because you can't see. You don't know what
he's not a play caller.
We know anything. He's just a figure.
So let me ask you that. So let me counter.
He's had a different coordinator every year.
So listen, like Sean McVay, we know what he does. He's an offensive innovator.
Savant.
He's a great play caller. He schemes guys open. What does Mike Tomlin do?
Not win.
No, but like he has a Super Bowl. So when they were successful, and he's never had a losing season, he's not going to have a losing season this year. What is Mike Tomlin? So tell me what Mike Tomlin does, Mike.
I don't really care about the Steelers.
I know, because
your argument,
right? Because Nick Sirianni is Nick Sirianni is the
Super Bowl.
He's the CEO.
No, my argument is that he's been successful. Whatever he's doing, it's working.
Guys, he's Mr. Magoo.
Okay.
He's Mr. Magoo. He's just wandering around.
Why do you hate him so much?
That's all he is.
Because he's Mad Mike.
Because he's a moron, Jason. He's just a flat out idiot.
But Mad Mike, you can't be a moron and win a Super Bowl in today's NFL.
You can if everybody is doing everything for you and you're just hanging around. And that's what he's doing.
But there's an art to having everybody do everything for you.
Him a Super Bowl.
All right. What about the Phillies? Are you feeling all right about them, Mad Mike?
I'm glad they lost. Bryce Harper's a loser. Send him back to Washington and rebuild this team. Kyle Schwarber is going to get $200 million. Congratulations. This team is done, and it's over.
All right. There he is. Thank you, Mad Mike. Yeah, how I've developed Mad Mike is there's not a lot of – you kind of let him go, and then what was he saying? Mac Jones is better than Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
That was the last one he called in. Yeah,
he said Mac Jones is better.
Yeah, he said he'd rather have Mac Jones than Jalen Hurts. Yep. After Mac Jones had that good – it was a Monday night game, Sunday night game, whatever it was.
He had a good game?
Yeah, in that offense where Kyle Shanahan makes everybody but Trey Lance look like a good quarterback in that offense. Or he develops them and gets them back. Sam Darnold looks good this year.
Sirianni is a Super Bowl winning idiot. Mac Jones is a franchise quarterback after one game.
Right. Yeah, you can't just let him go and then
And it's not only that it's not only that he's a Super Bowl winning coach. He's gone to 2.
Yeah, it's at this point. At this point, you have to just whatever he's doing, it's working. Whatever it's doing, it's working. Well, not right now. It's not. 610-632.
It is though. They're 4-2.
They've also lost 2 straight games, and things look
but
very
it's
disastrous
a long
right now.
season, like it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. They won the first 4 games against
very
really
good teams.
opponents.
Yeah. No, they dude. I was very supportive through 4 games. I can't be right now, at all. Dumpster fire coming up.
But you can't go with the complete opposite way.
Another day, another comment about the Eagles' offense being predictable. What did Lane Johnson have to say about it post game? This will be good. That's coming up next. Marks in the Middays, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a finger pointing show. I'm with Kevin till the end. A lot of it goes down to execution. So we'll go back and look at this tape and see what we got to get fixed. So moving forward, maybe more efficient, less predictable, and capitalize on big plays and explosives.
Yeah, that's Lane Johnson. When you get a veteran with his resume, future Hall of Famer, all-time Eagle, will have his number retired, you can say what is fairly obvious to a lot of people. And is it a message being sent? They are fairly predictable. What is the reasoning behind that? Because the offense coordinator and the head coach are fairly predictable, that they only run a couple of different plays, that the quarterback is limited in what he can do right now. Maybe all of the above. That's what I'm saying. Like Lane Johnson coming out and saying that. A.J. Brown coming out and playing coy about the whole, well, we didn't talk about anything. No, it was after a loss. So the last thing he wants to do after a loss is talk about, oh, yeah, we met during the week. I don't even blame A.J. for that. But when teams lose, this is the kind of things that happen, right? When the Eagles lose, it's magnified. And they haven't lost a lot of games. They lost one game, really, last year, right? Or they went on that run and they lost one game.
The one he didn't play in.
Yeah, exactly. The one he didn't play in. So, yeah, like you just hope that. But the last thing that you want to see right now is people jumping ship and taking sides and throwing people under the bus. Because, like you said, there's lots of time to turn this around. But the only way it's going to get turned around is everybody gets back on the same page. And I give the Eagles credit for trying to get these guys in a room and get them to talk about things. Why was that put out there? Why did Jimmy Kincade get the information that all three of them were speaking? Is that because they wanted it leaked? Because
somebody did.
Because they want right. So the Eagles put that out there so fans are say, "Oh, well, they talked." So that's good. That's good. They're on the same page. To me, it feels like the team wanted that information out there, not realizing they were going to get curb stomped against the Giants.
The team?
Yeah.
Or one of the guys in that meeting wanted that.
I think one of the guys in the meeting wanted that out.
Who?
I think it's probably Jalen Hurts that wanted it.
Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts is
the leader.
Jalen Hurts' agent reaches out to Kempsky and says, "Yeah, they all met." Now it didn't say Jalen Hurts said. Like here's if this is Hurts' agent or Hurts' people that want that story out there, I think it's more of, hey, Jalen called Saquon and AJ and said, hey, let's meet and let's all get on the same page. It's pointed as Jalen was making the leadership decision to, hey, we need to get on the same page. I don't believe that came from Hurts' camp.
I'm just saying
because he would have got more credit for it.
I would shine it up.
Okay,
as it was his idea.
Well, here's the thing. Nothing ever gets out unless it's got an agenda attached to it.
Agreed. What was the agenda?
So that's what we got to figure out. Where's the agenda? Where's the upside to it getting out?
So the Eagles are notorious for paying way too close attention to what's being said on talk radio.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that they do. So if everybody's freaking out, because they're 4-1. It's not like they're 1-4 or they're 2-2. They're 4-1, but fans aren't happy with the 4-1. They lose a game. And it's clear, AJ, the whole thing happened again. AJ's unhappy. He puts the tweet out. So what do? That week, there's a meeting to get on the same page. So the team that's overly concerned with the perception of what's going on with the team, they leak it out there. Well, they met. Because I even took the bait and said, oh, well, that's a great thing. Like, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah.
Because they're at least talking.
Trying.
Yeah, they're trying. They're talking. It's great that AJ and Jalen. And it wasn't just that they met. Oh, they met for a couple hours. It was a long meeting. And I said, what are they talking about for a couple hours?
Define long?
Hours, right?
Hours?
Hours.
What the hell was said in hours?
What I said, did they have lunch? Were they drinking? And then it was like, no, it happened in the morning. It was over breakfast or something. I don't know. Right?
That's a heck of a breakfast.
Right, that's what was said. It was for hours.
Long meeting between them.
A long meeting.
The one thing that stuck out in the quotes afterwards was how team-centric they were talking. It was team-centric. Which is okay, so these guys just don't like each other, and they're just trying to make things work for the team. AJ having this reaction to me suggests that of all three of those guys, there's certainly one that didn't want it put out there.
Right.
And that's AJ Brown.
Agreed.
And he's still unhappy.
Yeah, now he's going to answer questions about it, which he doesn't want to do.
Not in Saquon's character to put it out.
Agreed.
So it's got to be Hurts.
I will still say it's from the team. The team put it out there in a PR move to try to tell the fans everything's okay. They're talking, nothing to see here. I think because you still have the fans that want to believe everything's fine. We still get, like Brandon Graham came out last year.
I remember this.
And said that
there was an issue.
He said that they're not friends like they were, but they have to, business is business, and you can't let personal stuff get involved in business.
And then the owner called and flipped out.
And then he tried to put the toothpaste back in the tube and said, well, I didn't really know what was going on. No, like you may not know the details, but it's pretty clear that everybody in that locker room knows that there's strain between Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. Is there any doubt? Can we just agree on that?
There is.
Can people in the text line just agree, 610-632-0975, that there's an issue with the quarterback and the wide receiver? Ray?
No, man, it's fine. You see them dance at that Steelers game last year? You see that clip of them at the Super Bowl? That was definitely them talking about their enduring friendship.
Here's how you get everybody back on the same page.
Start winning.
You start winning again.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
And you involve A.J. Brown in doing it.
Correct.
Because the situation is pretty simple. The fact that he's not getting the ball and they're losing games. You saw the one game that they lost against Denver. And that one series of downs, they tried to force the ball to A.J. Brown 3 times in a row. And he wasn't open on any of those occasions.
No, because they were sitting on it.
Yeah. And they just tried to force getting him into the game.
Yep.
And it didn't work. So you got to find a way to do it more organically. You got to find a way to do it earlier in a game to start to ride some kind of wave, because this getting the ball to A.J. Brown late in the third quarter for his first target doesn't work.
But, I'm not saying they forced it in, what was the game before that, where he only had 2 catches, but if you remember, it was big spots, and he muscled the ball down. He's such strong hands, and they got a couple of big plays. Will, I'm going to give you 60 seconds because we're up against it. Will in South Jersey. Will, what do you think?
Here's what I think, guys. The 2 games we lost are the 2 games that we threw the ball more than we ran it. Our running back is averaging 5 yards a carry.
Yeah.
The reason why we won the Super Bowl last year is because we ran the ball more than we threw it. And even in the Super Bowl, Kansas City was not letting us run the ball that we could, but we still ran the ball more than we threw it.
Yeah, you're comparing apples and tennis rackets, though.
But they also were playing with a confidence heading into that Super Bowl where they were going to smoke the Chiefs regardless.
And in the second half of last year in games, you just salted games away.
But
dominated.
I agree. Last night, Saquon Barkley was running the ball really well early. The problem was the Giants started scoring points.
Yeah.
The defense is banged up. They're not the same defense they were last year. They don't have the pass rush. Quinyon Mitchell was out he's injured.
Yeah.
So is he going to play going forward? This is an absolute mess. Coming up. So Jason, you don't know about the news at noon.
Okay, what's the news at noon?
The news at noon, we go to our correspondent Ray Dunn.
Okay.
And he gives us the 3 stories you don't want to hear about from the guy you don't want to hear him from. That's right.
Okay, so we're going to the Situation Room.
We're going to the the breaking news.
Effectively, yeah.
It's also the breaking news desk. So I'd like to Tony Bruno. We're going to have him on so I can ask for the current affairs sounder.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That he used to use for the breaking news sounder.
Yeah.
ABC News, no.
No, you're not going NBC Nightly News.
So with Tom Brokaw. He doesn't know who Tom Brokaw is.
You don't know who Tom Brokaw is?
He's
Hey, it was the
25.
guy on NBC News. Come on.
You knew Dan Rather is?
No.
He was the guy on ABC.
I asked him to
that was CBS.
I asked him to name another national news
Peter
guy.
Jennings is
50-50
ABC.
shot.
No, I asked him to name another national news guy, and he said David Muir. Because he's 25.
He's the
Peter
new guy.
Jennings has been dead for 30 years. He's not going to know who Peter Jennings is.
Yeah.
Coming up, Ray Dunn News at noon, and we have some interesting Eagle stuff, including an underrated struggle in last night's game and a very uncomfortable Stephen A. Smith moment.
Oh, I like that.
And lots more on the Phillies and the Eagles. It's Middays of the Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
What a brutal day. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 2-1 in 11 innings. They were eliminated in 4 games by the Dodgers last night. It was a walk-off for Leo. Ryan Kirkering with an error throwing it home when he could have gone to first with the bases loaded, threw it away. The winning run scores. And it wasn't just him last night. The top 3 of the Phillies lineup. Once more in this lineup coming up small, 1 for 14 in the game last night. And that's what wraps up this 2025 season for the Phillies. They they go out back-to-back years in the National League Divisional Series. After the game, Kyle Schwarber talked about this group.
Our group, even though we were down, 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that we've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
But they did not, and the season ends there. Plenty of questions to ask this offseason. Looking around the rest of the city, not much more positivity. The Eagles lost 34-17 to the Giants last night. No points in the second half for the Birds. Jalen Hurts threw a big interception in that second half. Nearly was returned for a pick 6. Elsewhere, the Flyers lost their opener last night 2-1 to the Panthers. This update is brought to you by Wawa. Wawa's newest $6 meal deal. Choose a shorty, hoagie, chicken sandwich, or wrap, plus a small fountain drink and Hers chips, all for $6. Gotta have a Wawa. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best Birds coverage. 975 The Fanatic, 975thefanatic.com.
All right, this is 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, Burlington, Philadelphia, WPEN, and WPEN HD1. A Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Jason Martinez, live in studio, making his co-hosting debut here on Middays of the Barks on 97.5 The Fanatic. Hello, Jason.
I'm 2 hours in and plenty of energy to go.
2 down, 2 to go.
Yeah.
Talk on the phone lines coming up next.
Agreed.
12 o'clock hour brought to you by Service First HVAC, offering 0% financing for 48 months. Rebates and tax credits up to $4,300 when purchasing a heating and cooling system. Learn more. ServiceFirstHVAC.com. Time for the news at noon.
This city needs its news.
Now, it's time for
I'd like to be remembered as a good newsman.
the news at noon
That's the coolest story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane.
with Ray Dunn.
That's right. Stories you don't care about from the radio host that you certainly don't. Let's start with a broadcaster that a lot of people care about, and probably the biggest struggle last night in Thursday Night Football. It had nothing to do with the Eagles offense, Eagles defense. The biggest struggle was Al Michaels remembering just how Saquon Barkley got to Philadelphia. Not once, but twice did he say he was traded to Philadelphia. Here's number one.
Saquon Barkley drafted by the Giants second overall back in 2018. And then the trade, the infamous deal. Off he went to Philadelphia. So last year, of course, the Barkley trade made so much of a difference.
Twice.
So who else was like this out there? I didn't really even pay attention to the Eagles game until the second half.
Well, I thought
it was on.
Al Michaels was like giddy last night that the Giants were winning the game. He had half of his life savings on the Giants in that game last night.
He's also a New Yorker.
Yeah, I get it, but still you got to be unbiased at this point. It was weird.
You remember when he was calling the Bills game, he said they were a good team that was actually fun to watch. And a lot of people took that as a slight towards the Eagles.
Right.
Not a fan of the Birds.
No, and every commentator, at least for the first time, likes, oh, Scottaboo, Scottaboo, Scottaboo.
Yeah.
Jackson Dart's running around out there with.
Yeah.
It's a new team. And you know what? Like, if I wasn't an Eagle fan, I'd be like, all right, like, this is pretty cool. It's some new blood, some young guys.
Well, you know everybody in the entire country hates the Eagles.
Yes.
Except for Eagles.
Oh, my God. So last night.
It was a joyous occasion for the country.
Sean Sharif, who is on the flagship down in Dallas, 105.3 The Fan. They get Jerry Jones on every week. And he, to your point, everybody wants to get the super slow motion of the tush push and then say, oh, he's moving again, this crap. So I retweeted that, and I put a crying Jordan face on a Cowboy fan.
Yeah.
And said another Cowboy fan crying. And then he said that, what is it? Not that he, like, I would have needed to fire back and be uptight about it. But he fired back and said, their O-line moves as much as you do between jobs, is what his retweet of mine was. So I put another Cowboys fan crying with that, and he said, their O-line moves as much as you do between jobs. I don't really move that much between jobs.
You move quite a bit between jobs.
What do you mean?
You've moved quite a bit.
I'm the only person with balls in the city that's willing to leave a job in radio to go to another job and vice versa.
Yeah.
I would say that.
Yeah, I would agree. I didn't leave a lot of jobs in radio. I got asked to leave a couple of jobs in radio.
Yeah, you move around too. It's not necessarily by design.
Yeah, I didn't do it on purpose.
I'm dumb enough to do it on purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, to your point, all you people are taking such great pleasure in watching that game last night.
Oh yeah, the national people love it. They're so sick of the Eagles.
It was their lead of the show today.
Yeah.
Which was the Eagles got thumped, which is what he said.
Yeah.
Sean.
Cowboys suck anyway, so that dude doesn't have a leg to say.
Well, yeah, but this is old school Philadelphia where we would take pleasure in anything but our own team winning.
Yeah.
We weren't going to win, so of course we want to see the other team suffer like us.
Yeah.
And by the way, Al Michaels has been cooked for a couple of years. And I'm a huge Al Michaels fan. I don't care. I don't even want him on the show.
It's okay. He didn't respond.
Yeah, I know.
So.
I don't want him on the show. Al
if
Michaels
you can believe it, he didn't respond to me.
Well, it's not Mike. He doesn't know who I am.
Did you have his
certainly
email?
doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, he emailed him. Yeah, he emailed
I'll make sure he's got the right email.
Al Michaels.
I got a good relationship with Al.
Al Michaels
I clearly don't.
An all-time great. He used to do World Series baseball when the earthquake of the A's and the Giants back
when
OJ
was in the car. He was doing the game.
But
the Bronco.
When OJ was in the car, he called in when Mr. Higgins called in and claimed to be watching OJ and the Bronco. It was the Howard Stern. It was Captain Jenks that called in.
Yes.
And said, and a Baba Booey to y'all. And then Al Michaels called in and said, that was a farcical call.
Yes.
That was not really a neighbor. Al Michaels is an all-time great. I'm a huge Al Michaels fan. He's 80 years old.
In his
what do
day,
you think I'm going to sound like 80 years old? I won't be on the radio.
I mean, he did the Miracle on Ice call in 1980.
It was 45 years ago.
Yeah.
He was telling the stories of the
was a pup
70s
then.
Reds last week. Like, that's how long he's been around.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah, he was with the Reds. He was in Hawaii. He did the Islanders game in
1980.
In Hawaii. He did AAA baseball. He got the job in Cincinnati from that. I read his book. It's a very, very good book. It's a biography.
I don't read. So.
He's a legend.
He's a legend.
Yeah.
But he's
just tough go for him last night.
Yeah, he did. He was not traded.
You mentioned having a lot of jobs. Stephen A., obviously a man with many jobs. First Take being the one he's known most for. And earlier this year, after the halftime performance by Kendrick Lamar, where Serena Williams is dancing to the song about Drake, her ex-boyfriend, Stephen A. said that if he was Serena's husband, he would divorce her. Now, Serena's husband is promoting an event that he's putting on in New York and went on First Take. And he did not forget about that. Take a listen to this uncomfortable clip on First Take yesterday.
Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
Well, you know what? Listen, I did it. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time, but I was hoping you were going to be here. No, I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No,
Steve hasn't.
No. Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies. And the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
So I generally try to stay in my lane as advice
Then
department.
we'll talk marriage advice later.
All right.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, that's great.
Listen to him squirm.
It's
and
amazing.
He squirmed big time right away.
I wish I saw the video to it. I actually didn't see that.
Quite frankly, I can just see him now.
For the most part, he's got his lane. I know what he does. He's very good at it. I have no interest in it other than playing the videos and whatever. But he also has no humility as a person.
No, he doesn't.
At all.
None.
And now he's gotten so his ego is he thinks he's going to be the president. He might end up being, who the hell knows. But he's gotten so much bigger than even the ESPN brand, which is never something that they wanted. And they actually are encouraging it at this point.
Which is surprising coming from Disney.
Yeah, but anyway, so it was, it doesn't surprise me that he couldn't even have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, he can't. He's way too serious about himself now. Yeah, way too serious.
All right.
All right, last one for you. We're combining two favorites here on the Newsroom. Paul Feinbaum on the rumors of Bill Belichick leaving UNC.
During his bye week, he took the week off and went on a vacation with Jordan Hudson. By the way, I'm not against anyone having a vacation, but I've never heard of a college football coach taking more than maybe a day off, and I don't even think I've ever heard of that. Now, I realize there's never been a 73-year-old coach who had a 24-year-old girlfriend. I don't think that really should be a factor here, if I could offer my opinion, but it feels like the end is near for Bill Belichick. And by the way, I would suggest to Bill he would be smart to quit now before his legacy gets worse and he becomes even more humiliated.
Yeah, he can't quit now.
Not in the middle of the season.
No, I don't think he's going to quit now, although the stories were coming out that he might be gone in 2 weeks. I mean, you talk about dysfunction. The parents of players are speaking out to reporters. Players are speaking out to reporters. Coaches are... The one story I read was the coaches couldn't get a hold of Bill Belichick during the bye week.
Okay, so he was on vacation with his 24-year-old girlfriend.
Right, that's why he couldn't get back.
See, they love throwing out that 24-year-old girlfriend thing out there, though.
Right, it's outrageous.
Look, and it is crazy. I mean, he's 50 years older than it.
Yeah, but she also comes out on the field dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
But who else does that? And it's not how it's one thing if it's like, you know what, players are looking at it and being like, wow, like Bill's the man. No, everybody looks at it and says, this is the most outrageous, dumb thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, like what's this girl doing with him? Because he's just dumpy dude.
Oh, my God.
Miserable.
Man boobs all over the place. And
sleeves cut off his sweatshirt.
Grunting and groaning through every
She's out
press
there
conference.
in Gucci and Dolce & Gabbana, and he's out there in a Russell Athletic cutoff sweatshirt.
And you're obviously happily married as I am. Wait, let's ask Greg. What's the oldest you would go with a woman? Right. 45?
Yeah, I was thinking somewhere early 40s probably.
All right, and I'm not talking about just for fun. I'm talking about relationship.
Oh, no, I don't think I'd date that much older. Depends how much.
It depends.
So how much older of a woman would I date?
Well, no, at this point, how much younger?
Oh, okay. I was going to say. I got to get a walker. Because I'm 53. How much younger would I go and feel comfortable?
So, for example,
32.
I'm 48, and I'm never getting divorced, but I'm 48. I don't think I could go 35. Like 35 would kind of be a limit. You know why? Because if you're talking about marriage, when I'm 70, I'm going to be 70. What's a 55-year-old woman going to be looking at a 70-year-old?
Yeah, but 70's not what it used to be.
Well, the new 70 is more like 55.
Yeah, so you'll still be.
Yeah, but then you're
still be virile.
But then you're 80 and she'd be 65. I don't know.
Yeah, but the 80's only 58 now.
No, it's not. No, not for me. It's not going to be.
I keep telling myself this because I'm 53.
See, Ray, honestly, I could see you finding a real nurturer, an older, mature woman that could really nurture you.
I love an older woman. I'm not against that. I'm just saying.
No, but with an LTR, for an LTR, yeah, long-term relationship, I could see it. Bring her home to mom and dad. Mom,
what about an LTIR, like a long-term injured reserve,
with a lower body injury?
Okay? Yeah, with a lower body injury. Well, do you want a lower body or an upper body injury? Is the question.
Wow.
But I mean, I don't know. 32 sounds like a good number.
So you go 32.
It just sounds like a good number to me.
I could see a 32-year-old on your arm as you guys are strutting out to dinner. Yeah.
At least you can see that.
610.
I'd like to see that.
610-632.
As by the way, what's today? In 4 days will be 20 years that I got married.
20-year anniversary?
Yes.
That poor woman.
Yes.
610-632-0975.
Happy anniversary, babe. There's your gift.
Middays with Marks. That's Jason Martinez. Coming up, let's get back to the Phillies being eliminated. We have Kyle Schwarber's comments about thinking this was the year. That's coming up next. It is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
John Kincade, Andrew Salciunas.
about the fact of this. It's not about the last play, right? It's not about that. It's just just the group that we had. I felt like that our group, even though we were down 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that we've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
All right, Kyle Schwarber. We're back middays with Marks. Ray Diggity Dunn, fresh off a 12-pack of Coronas last night. Jason Bertidis. Martinez in trouble.
Fresh off a nice lemonade. No alcohol in it.
So, are your hotkeys working in there?
Yeah, it should be.
Vito came in here and was like, what's happening? Like, neither hotkeys are working. He left, and I just looked over it. It's still not fixed. Yeah, my screen's frozen.
What's going on over here?
Well, I mean, it's like this at every radio station. Things are always busted. I was looking for, can you find Martinez in trouble if you search it?
Is that still in there?
Jason, every drop that I put in here when I worked here 10 years ago is still here.
It's like my
that one
pages
specifically
still?
is not in there.
It's not?
No. Some of them didn't make. A lot of the ones you put in were like sound effects that were carried over and used elsewhere.
They were elite.
Yeah, that were used on shows post you. That when they made the switch from
you guys stole
software to software, that
stole my stuff.
It made it. So not everything made it, which is why we're trying to rebuild yesterday.
I think Camille deleted all my stuff.
Probably. I could see him doing that. What was the Martinez in trouble thing from?
I don't even know what that was from, to be honest with you. I think
it was from a game. It was from some game.
Yeah, somebody did something wrong, a quarterback or something. Or like, oh no, like he's running around. Martinez in trouble. So Mike Murgett used to play that every time I screwed something up.
Murgett was texting me yesterday.
Yeah.
With Harry being on. Yeah, so if you don't know, Ray, or maybe the audience doesn't know, when Jason first started working with Mike, everybody, because, Martinez doesn't necessarily roll off your tongue.
No.
Right?
Not even off mine.
So people thought his name was Martinez. So then it became this running thing where Mike would go, Martinez. And so that kind of became the whole thing.
Yeah, and it became more of like an alter ego than anything else.
Yeah, for sure. And then people realized it's not Martinez, but that's kind of your show name became, at least in part.
Yeah, to some degree.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And there was a drop that we would play, Martinez in trouble.
Yeah, so anytime I would screw up, that you would hear that.
I would start playing some drops from the board here, but again, I'm frozen.
So you have some of your old stuff there.
All the Bernie stuff is still on there.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I still have the call that Bernie called into Harry and I and had a conversation with himself.
I remember that.
And he talked to himself for easily 3 minutes.
Well, so
not realizing he was talking to himself.
I wish I had it, but was Bernie alive when you were? Bernie was alive when you were on?
Right when I started here was around the time he passed.
Bernie, I used to prank call him in this back studio.
Oh, I call you, me too.
And with soundboard. So I would call him with the Jim Rome soundboard. I wish I had it, and it's not anywhere.
I called him as Eddie Vedder one time because he cursed on the air on the weekend. And so he cursed on the air with one of the weekend hosts. So I called him as Eddie Vedder, head of the FCC.
Right. And then you were using Pearl Jam puns, right?
I was like, this is a very yellow Ledbetter incident. Bernie, even Flo, you did this. And like he had no idea.
You're such an idiot.
And it was so bad. But at the end, I'm just glad you're still alive.
Yeah. Bernie is rest in peace, Bernie from Broomall.
Yeah.
I still remember his phone number when it would pop up on there. But Bernie's calling in.
Yeah, he was great. And he was great to have fun with, too. So, I pranked him a bunch of times. I pranked all kinds of people, as all kinds of people.
Yes.
Some of which I don't even know if we're even allowed to talk about.
We would, and no, the radio's changed even from those days to where we probably wouldn't do that.
No, but am I allowed to, are we allowed to rip people?
Who?
From the other stations and stuff like that?
Well, it depends.
Like when I called the Chinese restaurant as our former evening guy.
As Joe.
Yeah, as Joe. Yeah, I mean, that was legendary.
You did, but also you can't record somebody against their will and play it on the air.
Well, you can. You just got to be very creative. You got to go, I'm recording you right now. Is that okay? And they go, huh? You go, do you like ice cream? And they say, yes. And then you just edit out the other part.
Right, I know.
That bit.
You're admitting it on the air.
Yeah. So there's ways around things. Back in the day.
Not as
the
much.
statute of limitations is up, I believe.
Yeah. No. You're right. You can mention it now. We won't get in trouble. All right. So where are we right now? It's 12 o'clock, and the damn Eagles. If they would have just won last night, then we could just talk about the Phillies. Or if the Phillies would have just won last night, we could talk about the Eagles. But they both lose.
Yeah, look, that's the thing that's kind of weird right now. Like, how long do you want to hang on to the Phillies?
This team?
No. How long do you want to hang on to this anger that it's over?
Well,
because you're still in the middle of an Eagles season.
Yeah, but you're only 6 games.
I move on really quick.
But you're only 6 games in. I still need because I was told during the series you can't talk about next year yet. They can still win the series, and I'm like, you're right, but it's hard not to kind of take a peek at what happens if they do lose. So now that they have lost, when I say I'm looking forward to, I think it's a really interesting conversation about what they do, because a lot of people, like my buddy Pete, that was texting me this morning, that kind of got me going on it. He wants everything done. He wants Thompson gone. So anyways, he says there's no market for Bohm. You can't move Bryce or Trey, and Stott has no market. You can move on from Bohm. You're just not going to get it much in return.
See, I think having these conversations right now, this fresh, it's too emotional.
Well, like today's not the day for it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's early next week.
Yeah.
But people are still mad about the Eagles next week.
Yeah. And you can be mad about the Eagles, but they still also have season to play.
So here's the question.
Still meat on the bone.
Here's the question for Phillies fans out there the day after. Who gets the blame? Whose shoulders are the blame? I saw our Instagram account, the Fanatic Instagram account, put out something.
Shoulders to blame for what?
Well, for the Phillies not being in the playoffs. Right?
Okay, for the Phillies.
Yeah.
Not for the Eagles.
No. Like right now, as a Philly fan, you're sitting here, you're eating your lunch. It's the day after the season's over.
I didn't bring any lunch.
And you're looking, I know, I have a cheese stick in my bag here if you want it. But I saw our Instagram account put out something from Bob Nightingale. He was on with Kevin Cooney back in July. And it said that Dombrowski's safe because John Middleton loves Dombrowski, that Topper would be much more of a logical choice to move on for than Dombrowski. Dombrowski's not going anywhere. Dombrowski's there's not even a thought to get rid of him.
Yeah.
I think there's conversations about if Rob Thompson is the best manager going forward for the Phillies and if they shouldn't think about moving on from him. I think it's a short conversation, but they'll have conversations about it.
Why is it a short conversation?
Well, because it's, hey, we're for the third straight season ending prematurely, and we feel like that we should have advanced or we should have gotten past this round.
So it's a short conversation, and you're moving on.
No, you're not moving on.
Oh, and you're not moving on.
I think it's a short conversation of he gets one more year. Because that's my reaction, and my knee-jerk reaction is that he gets one more year.
See, I don't think it's a short conversation per se right now. I think it's a conversation, but then you go, who's available?
All right, is Rob Thompson back? See, I don't buy the who's available thing. I don't buy the who's available thing.
Well, what are you going to do?
I got that for Andy Reid.
Fire him and then not put anybody in there?
Well, no, you're already thinking about that. Like if you're waiting for your next manager after you fire him, you're already way behind in the process. You're already thinking about it. You're already looking around. Do we have somebody in the organization? Is there somebody outside the organization we hire? I heard the Andy Reid, well, who else are you going to get that's better than Andy Reid? The hell with that. If it's time to move on, it's time to move on. I don't think it's time to move on from Rob
That was
Thompson.
different. That was 14 years.
610-632-0975. We'll take this to the next segment.
All right.
Should Rob Thompson be gone?
No.
610-632-0975. Text line 610-632-0975. Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
What a tough day. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. The Phillies lost 2-1 yesterday in 11 innings, eliminated 4 games by the Dodgers. A walk-off for L.A. in that 11th inning on an error from Ryan Kerkering, throwing past JT Realmuto when he could have gone to first with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Of course, not all on Kerkering because, once again, the top 3 of the lineup, 1 for 14 in this game, what became a recurring theme in this series that the Phillies lose in 4 games against the Dodgers. That wraps up the 2025 season. Kyle Schwarber talked about the end of this season for this group.
Our group, even though we were down 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that was we've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
They were not the team that got it done. No one else in town got it done last night either. The Eagles lost 34-17 to the Giants. No points in the second half for them. Jalen Hurts with a big second half interception that was nearly brought back for a touchdown. The Flyers also lost their opener 2-1 to the Panthers last night. This update's brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning reminds you nothing like football and King's Hawaiian Sliders. King's Hawaiian Sliders make you a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the best birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
This hour, how about
Is that right?
For
Max coming on?
Yes, he's Fridays at 12:55.
See, that's not true. He told me that because I was coming on today, he would come on.
No, is that right?
So he said nothing to do with Fridays and you.
Yeah, he said he hates me, but in spite of that, because you're coming on.
No, I love T-Mac. He's a great guy.
Tim McMahon. And
very looking forward.
Tim McManus we're talking about.
He'll get to the bottom of this A.J. Brown, Saquon, Jalen Hurts thing.
So, but also, you'll notice this with, and we'll get back into the Phillies in a second, but the people that cover the team, that they don't want to put out publicly. I think that there's more that the guys on the beat and the people that are inside know about the inner workings than they're willing to actually come out and say.
Now, why do you think that? Why do you think they don't want to? Because they want to continue access?
Because someone's got to come out. Like, what are you going to come out and say? That Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. And by the way, like, I don't think what's going on right now is where this is broken. It's never going to work. You have to get rid of A.J. Brown. These guys hate each other. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that based on what I've heard over the years, and when things go wrong, immediately this becomes an issue. You got A.J. with the book and A.J. with the passing offense comment. Like, obviously there's something that's going on with the quarterback and the wide receiver. And I think it has more to do with the on-field stuff than not the on-field stuff.
But you also believe it also has more to do with the quarterback than it does the receiver.
I honestly, I think the biggest issue right now with this team is the quarterback. And when I say that, I mean him in the passing game. Because he is not throwing the ball well right now. And when he lacks confidence throwing the football, it shows in this offense.
Okay, what about from a personality standpoint?
When they win, he's Michael Jordan. He's cool. Nothing.
Cool de la. Everything's great.
Like look at they block the field goal. He has no reaction. He walks off the field. He's a winner.
Right.
When they win, that's cool.
Okay.
When they don't win, remember 2023. He's sitting by himself, mad on the bench when they're going through all that, and the stories are coming out like, why is he sitting by himself? And just think about it. He's the quarterback. He's supposed to be the guy that is the glue that brings everything together.
Rally the troop.
And meanwhile, you got Devontae and AJ and the rest of the offense looking down and being like, is he blaming us? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be getting up. That's not his personality. So it doesn't mean that I think that Jalen's a bad guy or anything like that. It just means like his personality is so businesslike. When they lose, I think guys are easy to be. And the fact that, like, let's face it, throwing the ball on a consistent basis isn't what makes Jalen Hurts a great quarterback.
No, totally agree.
It's all the intangibles and everything else that he does.
And it's way easier in the NFL to blame a bananas receiver than it is a quarterback. Just is. Because we've seen so many bananas wide receivers, whether it's Ocho Cinco or Keyshawn or Michael Irvin over the years. I mean, you've seen some. I mean, there's very few normal wide receivers like Marvin Harrison. I mean, he wasn't even that normal, actually.
Well, no, he wasn't the outwardly outspoken, show you up on the field.
Give me the ball.
Yeah, you said it's a diva position.
Yeah. And there's so many. So it's easy to blame those guys. So it's easy to say, hey, A.J. Brown falls into that bucket.
Yep.
But maybe that's just our perception of it and our preconceived notion of it. What I do know is this, they don't have to get rid of A.J. Brown right now. Like, that's not going to just turn the season around. But this is probably the end of the line this season with the two of those two coexisting.
It feels like that could be the case, for sure. I would agree. Also, if you're not going to throw the ball, why do you need two $30 million receivers?
Well, you're going to throw the ball because it's a throwing ball league.
When?
Well,
they didn't last year. They're not this year.
Yeah, but
the two games that they've thrown the ball, they've lost.
Yeah, well, they also threw the ball half of those games and threw it really well. See, the problem is they can throw the ball really well for a half a game.
Not
the other half
game.
They suck. Yeah. Like that one game, he had one. What do you have? One completion in the second half.
Yep.
I mean, one complete. Well, that's hard to do, John.
Yeah, they got one first down. They went 3 and out like four series in a row.
Yeah,
to end the game. Let's go back to the Phillies. VT Ron is checking in, wants to talk about one of the decisions that Rob Thompson made last night. VT Ron, go ahead. How are you?
Hey, boys. Good afternoon. Really great to hear from you, Jason. It's been a long, long, long time, and yes, I'm still driving. And
how you doing,
Johnny
Ron? I've missed you, buddy. It has been a very, very long time since we've spoken.
That's right. It has been a long time, but I'm glad you're winning the fight, too, pal. I'm glad you're knocking it right out. I'm glad you're doing it, pal.
Thank you.
So listen, I got just a couple of things real quick. One, man, there's so many, but when we got into last night and we looked at what happened, first of all, I don't believe that you bring you go and you bring your relievers in.
You thought bringing Duran in the seventh inning was a poor decision.
That's right. Bringing Duran in the eighth inning. You had Ranger Suarez that can get you one inning. And I think at that point, bring Ranger in for the one inning and then bring Duran in for the ninth inning.
Well, VT Ron, they actually brought him in the seventh inning because he pitched right. He pitched the seventh and the eighth. You know, I don't think Ranger would have been available to pitch an inning, but everybody else was available, right? So I guess and I appreciate you calling. I mean, at that point, you could have went to Robertson, you could have went to Kerkering. At that point,
earlier.
I liked Luzardo coming in when he did. I wouldn't have taken Luzardo out for the matchup with Hernandez, but it also wasn't there. Other than the bunt in the entire series, I may have disagreed with some moves, but nothing that he did was outlandish.
Yeah, I'm not looking at it and going, man, this guy's a boob. Like, what is he thinking?
The biggest issue with this team is their stars didn't hit again.
The crux of the matter is the guys that get paid the huge money didn't deliver.
And their complementary pieces didn't deliver either. Marsh sucked. Bader was hurt. That killed him.
Yep.
Castellanos actually came through on 2 occasions.
Yeah.
He did. All right, coming up. Rob Thompson. Should he come back? Yes? Text line, 610-632-0975. Rob Thompson? Is he coming back? Also, Tim McMahon is coming up at 12:55. We'll kind of fish around what he sees internally, what's going on with the Eagles. Bad loss last night. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now, a Fanatic Phillies playoff update on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The update is it's over. I'm right on with this Phillies playoff update. That's it. It's over. The Phillies dropped the series to the Dodgers in 4 games. They won Game 3 in L.A. We're trying to get 2 on the road and get back to South Philly. They were unable to do so. They lose Game 4 last night, 2-1 in 11 innings. A lot of things you can point to. Once again, the bats not doing their job. The Stars, the top 3 of that lineup, going 1 for 14 in that game. That was the big storyline out of the 2 games in Philadelphia. It reared its ugly head again in that game out there in LA for Game 4. And obviously, the way that game ends, Ryan Kerkering throwing that ball away from JT Realmuto with 2 outs and the bases loaded, could have gone to first after bobbling the ball when it was grounded back to him. Dodgers walk it off, win the series. Brings a lot of questions about where this team goes in the offseason. One of them, something we're addressing right now on the show, the future of Rob Thompson. Bryce Harper was asked about it postgame.
I love Thomper, man. He's done a great job for us. I don't know what the future holds. I have no idea. I think that's a Dombrowski question. But obviously, we love Thomper in here. He's been great for us. And
we shall see what happens with the future of Rob Thompson. A number of key plays for this team, as the playoff update is that the playoffs went exactly as they did a year ago. 4 games and eliminated in the National League Divisional Series. This update's brought to you by Corona. Go ahead and turn any game into your own beach oasis with an ice cold Corona this Red October. Corona, the official cerveza of Major League Baseball. Drink responsibly. I'm Ray Dunn, your home for the MLB playoffs. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Jason Martinez. He's eating a Rice Krispie treat.
I love Rice Krispie treats.
I buy them frequently.
Dude, I get them at Costco. I've had like the weirdest cravings since being sick.
Right.
Lemonade. Can't drink enough of it.
Is that right?
For some reason, no idea why. And when I first got sick, I was losing so much weight. My nutritionist said, put chocolate syrup on everything, like steak. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. But because I had to gain weight. So I was eating a two king-size Caramello bars a day.
Stretch it out.
Yeah.
Caramello.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
I haven't touched one since.
Really?
Yeah, because now I associate them with getting
How
chemo
much?
treatment.
Because I haven't seen you, and I knew you. How much weight did you lose?
48 pounds.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, I've put on about like 28 pounds.
So I was going to say you really don't look any different from the last time I saw you.
Yeah, I'm a little thinner now. I put some weight back on because like I was so skinny that like I couldn't sit on like a hard bench because I felt like I was sitting on my butt bones.
It would hurt.
I had no cushion.
Well, because you had a hockey player ass before.
Yeah, a big hockey butt, and I had no ass, and I'm like sitting on bones. It was like uncomfortable.
So for people that don't know, you had colorectal cancer.
Stage 3B colorectal cancer.
And you had a long journey of chemo. And,
I still have.
Yeah, you still.
No,
you still do. But you went through the chemotherapy, and you're waiting for the most recent scans and to see where everything is.
Yeah, I did 16 weeks of chemo treatment, and I did 6 weeks of radiation and oral chemo treatment over the summer. And I had 2 CT scans yesterday of my chest and abdomen, and I'll have an MRI on Monday of my pelvis to find out where I am.
And you continued to work during a lot of this process. You took some time off during the
I tapped out. Of it. I tapped out of about 4 to 5 Flyers games.
Right.
That's about it.
But you've still been doing the podcast and doing your pre and posts and everything like that.
Yeah,
So.
trying. And I look back at some of the videos and some of the pictures of like when I was really sick. I mean, there was one time, John, I didn't leave my bedroom for 11 days. Yeah. I couldn't get up and down the stairs.
Well, you told me that you would just sleep for a day after the chemo. You would
after they would unhook me from a 46-hour treatment, and the steroids would stop. I would sleep for easily 36 straight hours.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Well, everybody's happy to see that you're like Ron had said, you're fighting the fight.
Yeah, we're still above ground.
Yep.
We'll see where it goes from here, and we're going to keep fighting no matter what kind of gets put in front of us, and we'll deal with it as we go.
All right, good.
It's pretty humbling, though.
I bet, man.
Yeah,
I bet you. I mean, your kids are a little bit older, but they're still like.
Yeah, and it's weird because there's a lot of cancer's very solitude, like by yourself. Like they're at an age where they just didn't want to be around me because I don't think they knew what to say, and they obviously didn't want to see me like that because I was not in good shape. It's not like, oh, look, Dad lost his hair. Like that didn't have any hair. You know what I mean?
That's nothing.
So it wasn't like that, but I just didn't look good. I didn't have energy. I didn't have any color or anything like that. And so they avoided me for a bit, which I understand, and I don't hold it against them. I saw them still, but like not a lot. But I had to spend a lot of time in bed.
Yeah.
So
well, look at you now. You're eating Rice Krispie treats, and you're talking about the birds.
Sucking.
Yeah, sucking.
Some things never change.
Ricky Bo's coming up at 2:00. I can't wait to hear because I didn't see postgame last night because the Phillies lose, and then I go right to the Eagles.
You're right into it.
But a lot being made about the decisions of Rob Thompson throughout the series. A couple of instances last night. I mean, honestly, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Rob Thompson outmanaged Dave Roberts, but he's coming back if I'm making the decision. I expect him to be back.
Is Ricky Bo upset with Rob Thompson? I don't think that
I don't believe so. No, I don't believe so. No, because
I think he's more upset with Dave Dombrowski than he is Rob Thompson.
Yeah, he was mentioning back there, and I would 1,000% agree here. I mean, why did you need so many relief pitchers when you know what you could have used? A pinch runner. Now they're looking at it and saying, well, they had Bader, so that's why they went with less hitters. But with a DH, you don't need as many bats off the bench.
No, that's true.
So they said, you know what? I'd rather have the extra pitcher or two than have the extra player. And I wonder if Rojas is healthy if they don't say, hey, he's got good speed. We need to have him on the roster. Like Aiden Miller, his speed, their prospect, it would have been good to have him just there for the speed to be on the base pass.
To generate some runs.
Right.
Absolutely.
But
totally agree.
the fact that you had literally nobody, and you got caught because Bader got hurt. You didn't have anybody to put in for Castellanos. And obviously you want to put somebody in for Castellanos in that spot. That goes on Dombrowski.
Yeah.
It does.
It does.
So, this is really a combination of that's a bad, and that was maybe a difference in a game. So that was a bad decision. The bunt that was heard around Philadelphia, a lot of people disagree with that decision, but I'll keep going back to it.
Well, let me ask you a question. It's a philosophical question.
All right.
How do you feel about this John Middleton era of Phillies baseball?
It must be extremely frustrating for him because they didn't win a World Series. And this, David Montgomery was looked at as the head of the ownership group when they won in 2008.
Yeah.
It wasn't Middleton.
No, it wasn't
even,
Middleton.
Even though
the face man.
No, he wasn't the face man. Now he's the face man, and he's done an incredible job.
Yeah, he really has.
He has.
And he spends, and he wants to win.
Dude,
I get it.
You can't ask for anything more from an owner because he's a Philadelphian. His family's from Philadelphia. Except the championship. And it's not his fault.
No, it's not.
He's fired Klentak. He's fired Gabe Kapler. He could have kept Klentak. He said, you know what? No, he brought in Dombrowski. He's made good moves.
Yeah.
Tim McManus on the Eagles coming up next.
Can't wait.
What the hell went wrong in that game last night? 34-17 to Scatterbow? Horrible. Tim McManus, what's going on with the Eagles? That's coming up next. It is Middays with Marks.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
0 for 3. I'm Ray Dunn with this Fanatic Sports Update. 3 Philadelphia sports teams in action last night. None of them won. The biggest one, of course, the Phillies season ending. They lose 2-1 in 11 innings to the Dodgers. They lose the series in 4 games. The top 3 of the lineup going 1 for 14 in that elimination game last night. Obviously there by Ryan Kerkering in extra innings that sunk the Phillies. The walk-off for the Dodgers. A lot of things are going to look back on in these 4 games that they could do differently, wish they did differently. A lot of what-ifs, but what is the end of the season, and Kyle Schwarber talked about it.
Our group, even though we were down, 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that we've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
That they did not. And neither of the other 2 teams in action won last night either. The Eagles lose 34-17 to the Giants. No points in the second half for them. Hurts threw a big second half interception. It was near the return for a touchdown. Flyers also losing their opener last night 2-1 to the Panthers. This update is brought to you by King's Hawaiian Sliders. Eli Manning, I've had to say Eli Manning 3 times now the day after they get crushed by the Giants. This is killing me. Eli Manning reminds you there's nothing like football in King's Hawaiian Sliders. King's Hawaiian Sliders makes you a winner on game day. Pick them up this weekend in the bakery or deli section of your grocery store. I'm Ray Dunn here for 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, WPEN HD, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. As damn it, Jason, I don't mind being angry about our teams losing, right?
I do.
I'm totally like. Sometimes it's fun to complain and be angry about the team losing. That's part of the fun of a loss.
I've been following the Flyers for too long. No, I'm out of that fun.
Oh, all right. They bring it back to the Flyers. But I guess my point is that if the Phillies would have lost last night and the Eagles would have won, it would have been more fun today as a show to just be able to dig into the Phillies and get reaction and things like that.
Okay, I do agree with that.
From a radio standpoint, what we're doing, it's difficult. So if the Eagles lose, if the Phillies win last night, we're saying, Game 5, we can't wait. Damn it, the Eagles, you suck. But now both teams lose.
It's compounded misery.
It's compounded misery. Yes, thank you. Well said, well put. But the Eagles do lose 34-17. They get doubled up. The fourth quarter was Scatterbo just running down the Eagles' throat. I don't want to say the Eagles, they didn't quit, but they were ready for that game to end. They're now 4-2 on the season, and I'm just saying they're banged up. The offense, this looks like 2023 all over again. To discuss is our old buddy and ESPN Eagles reporter, Tim McManus, and he joins us right now. T-Mac, how are you, buddy?
Johnny Marks, Jason, always good to talk with you guys, no matter the circumstances here.
Is this 2023?
A little early for that. I would say it feels too much like 2023 for anybody to feel comfortable about. And it's so crazy that we have like those two reference points of like, well, it looks bad in 2024 and they were able to turn on the Jets, and then in 2023 they look good to start, and then they have a couple losses that reveal the cracks in the foundation, and it went the wrong way on them. Going into this game, I viewed this as a foundation tester. Like they were coming off of that loss to Denver, very anxious to get back to sort of correct their wrongs. Things didn't look good over the first handful of weeks, and this was an opponent, given their talent level, that you could really get right against, that you could go in and you could smack them around and you could build your confidence up. And instead it went the complete opposite way, where they got smacked around. It didn't look good in all three phases, and they got run out of town by the New York Giants, who have been just a miserable franchise for years and years and years now. So it opens up those questions, right? I mean, I don't think that at 4-2 you can say this is a 2023 redux, but obviously a super concerning loss in the Meadowlands that's going to lead to those kind of questions.
Tim, can you explain to me how a team can look so good in one half and so horrific in the second half?
I think part of what we need to look at, Jason, is the fact that they're just not coming up with solutions and counter moves in game. I don't think that the adjustments are where they need to be. And one of the things that stuck out the most when we were in the locker room was Lane Johnson holding court and talking about the fact that they're predictable and saying that we have to be a little bit less predictable. It seems like the team knows like what's coming, pass or run, that we have this all-star running back, and there's no space for him to operate. So I think that's where I'd start. Coaching needs to come under the microscope here to a pretty large extent, I think, because if that is what is happening, it seems now to be happening pretty consistently. Like if you look at the last 3 weeks, they've had a really tough time moving the ball in the second half. And if you have your players in the locker room talking about a lack of adjustments and predictability, that's got to fall on to the coaches to some degree, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you evaluate Jalen Hurts and you look at the box score from last night and last week, it doesn't look bad. But when you watch the game and you see the missed opportunities that are out there, to me right now, Jalen Hurts isn't throwing the ball well, and the passing aspect of him being a quarterback, he's struggling with. Would you agree with that assessment?
Yeah, he's not playing well right now. That was a bad performance by Hurts. I don't care what the box score says. And the one thing that we credit him for, and rightly so for a lot of years now, guys, is the fact that he's clutch. Like in high leverage spots, he comes up with the big play. Last night was the complete opposite. Think about when they come out in the start of the second half, they're backed up because Tank Bigsby can't field a ball. the guy that Howie Roseman gave up 2 picks for. They're backed up against their goal line, and there's an opportunity for Hurts to hit Devontae Smith wide open. Like, doesn't get any easier than that, and he overthrows him. What's the other high leverage play? When they're down by the goal line trying to mount a comeback, and he throws it to Jahan Dotson, and the one place that you can't throw it, and it gets intercepted in almost a pick six. So if we're going to be given the credit for him of like, yo, Captain Clutch, right? Like he's the one that comes up in big spots, and he has over his career. Last night did not live up to that. And, we're too far into his career and into this season for the narrative to continue to be, well, these teams are playing zone and they're having a tough time beating zone. Like, beat zone. Like, you got to figure it out. Like, Kevin Patullo, Jalen Hurts, Nick Sirianni, everybody, like, get together, figure out a way. Like, they found an efficient way to cover you, figure a way to beat it. I think that falls on the quarterback and the rest of those leaders.
Well, Kevin Patullo's the guy calling the plays, Tim. And I look at Saquon Barkley and I look at Devontae Smith, and I go, if there's ever 2 players I need to get into space to see what could happen, those are the 2 players. Why is there no play design to get those 2 players into space?
Yeah, they're having a tough time. I mean, there was the one wheel route last week, Jason, but even if you listen to what Saquon was saying, it seems like Hurts and Saquon to somewhat like came together and came up with that design. So that's interesting. But I would also say this part, as I know that a lot of the laser focus is going to be on Patullo, and I think that he does need to wear some of that after what we've seen, especially recently, that I think that we're hearing a little bit too much of the players saying, you know what, it really should look like this. Like Lane Johnson, he's earned it. We all know he's future Hall of Famer, but saying, there should be probably some more outside runs. It's getting too predictable. It should look like this. And we know A.J. Brown has his very strong opinions about how it should look and the way it should go to him and all those kind of things. It feels to me like maybe too many cooks are getting into the kitchen here, and that to Saquon Barkley's point, like we need a little bit more, he was saying, of even if we're predictable and they know what's coming, we need the mentality of going out and saying, we don't care what the defense is doing. We need to go after it and get it. And so just, going like man to man to the locker room last night, it's like there was just varying opinions of like what's wrong and it's this and it's that and it's the other thing. And again, the players are entitled to that, but at some point you have to, allow the coach to kind of lead the way, and trust in that and execute that at a high level. And I'm just not sure that it's exactly where it needs to be at this stage of the season.
That's Tim McManus. Tim, we know AJ's frustration. He spoke to the media last night and was playing games about he doesn't know anything about the meeting or whatever. But do you think his frustration lies specifically with the results? Or, the elephant in the room is him and Jalen at odds because, A, there's something personal between them, and B, Jalen's not throwing the ball very well as a quarterback, or is it a combination of everything? But where do you think that situation is?
I mean, if it was strictly the results, like some of his frustration was coming out when they were undefeated. So it's obviously deeper than that. I think he recognizes that the offense, and this does have 23 feeling to it, like the offense needs to be better, and 24. The offense needs to be better in order for us to get to where we want to go. And when you have players that are that good, the frustration's going to sink in sort of win or loss because you're not hitting a certain mark that they know that they're capable of hitting, number one, and number two, that they need to hit in order to get to where they want to go, which is delivering more championships for this city. So, I think the intention is right. But we know the kind of, the subtext here is he's frustrated about how the ball is getting to him. There's been questions about, just we watch and we see that he and Hurts aren't interacting. We know that, or at least not as much. We know that there was a meeting last week with Saquon and Jalen and all these, main characters to try to get it sort of together. And so they're obviously scrambling. So I don't think it's just results oriented in the sense of like wins or losses, but there's obviously some undercurrents flowing here that I think everybody needs to kind of put behind them for the better interest of the team.
Tim, is this fixable? They've beaten 4 good teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they have the pieces there, talent-wise. If you look up and down on rosters across the NFL, Jason, like this is still right up there, like maybe number one. And so when you have that going for you, yes. But we know like every season takes on its own kind of feel to it. Chemistry is a very finicky thing. It looks almost exactly the same personnel-wise as last year. Some changes, but dynamics shift. Winning sometimes can blur your vision a little bit, and I think that's basically what we're looking at here. Like they got this extended break where they have the mini bye built in. Maybe they can use this like the Week 5 bye last year, where they all come together and say, "Listen, this is the way forward. Everybody buy into it, and let's go." And if they can do that, they have Vic Fangio as a defensive coordinator. They have really good pieces on the defensive side of the ball. They have a great offense. If they can put all those things together, yes. Yeah, I think it is fixable, but it just takes everybody sort of pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, I think Nick should take a max throwing. There's that place in King of Prussia. Do some team bonding. Get them on the same page.
There you go. And a little bowling maybe, Johnny?
But see, bowling I thought, but then I'm like, all right, they've probably done that.
Golf Galaxy.
They did the 3-point shooting in the offseason. Yeah, you could go to Top Golf as a team. But to your point, when has this team been successful winning a Super Bowl? The 2017, if you remember, you had the Kaepernick stuff and then Malcolm Jenkins, Chris Long. It kind of united the team. Last year, everybody was kind of like, all right, like everybody was pulling in the same direction. It definitely feels like Lane Johnson's complaining. Saquon's like, well, if I run the ball too much, you blame me. If I don't get the ball enough, you blame me. AJ has cryptic comments. There's a lot going on outside of the game right now, which is a problem.
Yeah, I would say, Barkley is so key here. Like the more that I reflect on what happened last year and having the context of 2023 and what went wrong, and he wasn't a part of that. Like if he wasn't on that team last year, I just wonder if that whole thing just crumbles. And he was so good, not just because he was awesome as a running back and was breaking off these huge plays, which then like the rest of the skill players are like, yeah, obviously we're going to let him eat. Like he's having a superhuman type of season, but also the way that he had relationships in every corner of that locker room, where he's able to bridge divides. And I think that you saw the importance again last week. Like he's the one with AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts having that long talk. He's the one in the locker room yesterday saying, who cares if we're predictable or not? Like we got to go out and we got to, exact our dominance on the opponent. And I feel like they had Malcolm Jenkins, to your point, 2017. Guys like Brandon Graham, this past year, those guys aren't there. Who's going to be the person that sort of galvanizes it and puts it all together? And I think that Barkley is a great candidate. He's shown it. He's got the C on his chest now. Yep. And I think that if this season does get saved, I think he's going to be a big part of it.
Good stuff, Timmy. Appreciate it, man. I'll be watching you on ESPN.
All right, boys. Talk to you soon.
There he is, Tim McManus. You could also try Escape Room. Have you done the Escape Room?
I never did the Escape Room.
I'm out.
Yeah, I didn't find that that doesn't sound appealing to me.
No,
I've been trying to escape a lot of rooms for a long time. I don't need to do that on purpose.
Well, they may leave Jalen in a room and run out if they went
lock the door.
Coming up. Oh, wait till you hear this.
The unescapable room.
All right. Have you been axe throwing?
I have been axe throwing.
You like it? I haven't done that either.
I suck at it.
Yeah.
Like that it looks cool. Like those guys go up there, they nail it every time. I throw it and the thing thumps to the floor. and I'm like, I look like an idiot.
I don't think it's built for guys our stature.
We need to be bigger. We
need to be bigger.
More Paul Bunyan-esque.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, coming up.
Well, I'm definitely not that.
A.J. Brown has a tweet about what happened last night, his performance after last night, right? So this is a tweet about what happened
about
after
his
the game.
comments.
About his comments last night. Yeah,
is this fresh off the presses?
Dude, this couldn't be any more breaking news than breaking news.
Wow, okay.
And nothing gets past Ray Dunn.
All right.
Done. That's coming up next. Also, the Phillies' future, Rob Thompson, and more. This is Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic. time to go to the bathroom. We're back. Middays with Marks. Jason, this is all new to you, right?
What, going to the bathroom?
Well, no, but you wear a diaper, so you don't have to worry about that.
I don't have to wear a diaper.
Did you ever go to? Well, not because of the cancer. Did you ever go to whenever I go to the to the Wegmans and I'm listening to Sugar Ray and all the other great hits they have there, I always, for whatever reason, it's right when I'm walking. I have to walk past it every time to get down to the chip aisle, but the adult diapers are on the end of the aisle that you have to walk past.
The Depends aisle.
Correct. And they always put not a young guy, but a guy that's probably 10 years younger than me, in their 30s, wearing the Depends diaper. And they're always very happy wearing it. Like the joy that they have on the package of the guy wearing the
big
Depends
smile.
diaper. Yeah, big smile. Couldn't be happier wearing a diaper.
My wife said to me, do you need Depends? And I said, well, that all depends.
Ah.
Like, I don't know.
You may.
Yeah, at some point.
Well, anyway, we're back.
Hope we can get this show back on the rails.
Right, unless we can get longer segments. Is that what I'm going to have to do, is wear a Depends in here?
Probably. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Because I do have the bladder of an older woman. You know, I'm in my later 40s.
I have a bladder the size of a thimble.
Right. So I have to strengthen my pelvic.
It used to drive Harry crazy. He'd be like, dude, you get up every break to go to the bathroom. I'm like, yeah.
It's kind of pathetic with me, too. I as far as public bathrooms, I know the good ones and the not so good ones.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I can't. If you drive a lot and you live far away, it's like, okay. Like, I know Starbucks is normally going to give you a good public bathroom. Wawa, at least you know they have one. It may be disgusting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Dunkin' Donuts aren't as easily. Like, I feel like when I go to Wawa, I'm allowed to use the bathroom without buying anything.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Like, Starbucks, I feel comfortable walking in without buying anything.
McDonald's, I feel that way now, too.
Do you?
I do.
I don't.
Because they set up the store differently. It's all kiosk now.
Oh, yeah, it's
so
totally
there's
different.
not somebody standing there staring you down.
When you walk in, like, what are you doing?
I just walk in, go, and leave.
Dunkin' Donuts, though, if I go into Dunkin' Donuts, I feel like they're staring at me and I can't, even though they have kiosks there now, too.
Yeah.
But I don't feel as comfortable going in and using a Dunkin' Donuts bathroom without buying an item.
The Wegmans bathroom's great, though.
Wegmans, same thing.
Yeah, great tile.
Yep. Nice looking bathroom. You know what hasn't changed here? Are you aware of this? There'll be a lot of bathroom talk on the show. That the Bala bathrooms, there's Twitter accounts that are made for the bathrooms here at One Bala Plaza. Are you aware of that?
I saw that for the first time the other day.
Fifth floor stall.
Yeah. Well, look at you probably haven't noticed this because you're not a sick guy like me. People, for whatever reason, flick their boogers on the wall of the bathrooms.
Ooh.
And so look at like straight ahead at the urinal when you're going to the bathroom, there'll be boogers that have been there for years. And they're clean bathrooms. It's not even ripping the maintenance people or whatever, but yeah, so there's boogers that are flicked on and dried on the wall.
Well, I noticed that on the sides now there's these rubber things. So
You
people
can't
don't
see
have to
through.
put up the curtains anymore.
Of the stall.
Yeah, there'd be one guy that would come in. This was years ago when I worked here, 6 years ago, that he would go in there and he'd spend 10 minutes putting up these toilet paper curtains.
you
Like, I
couldn't
gave a
peek in.
crap to look in there to see what he was doing.
Right.
Like, I don't care.
No, it's anytime somebody's using the stall when I walk in, it's awkward. And that's why I go to the fifth floor. Like, you went to the fourth floor. I go to the fifth floor because nobody's ever in the fifth floor.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I have.
You have a phobia of that? I don't care.
I don't have a phobia. I'm just not comfortable. Because then people are in there. They're dropping a deuce. They're making noise. It smells. It just becomes awkward.
It's
then
human nature.
But the people that don't get it, and then it's like I'll hear the toilet paper roll on rattling, and it's like, at least allow me to leave. Let me wash my hands and leave without you rushing out of the stall so we meet.
So I know that you're not like wiping your body as I'm leaving.
Let me leave, and then you can wrap it up.
You are some kind of pig.
No,
like,
I'm not.
You're an adult. Like,
are you not like this too, Ray? I don't stay in the stall.
I'm also a fifth floor guy.
Okay, good.
Well, good. I hope you guys both meet each other
well, that
with a
defeats the
case
whole
of the
purpose.
runs on the fifth floor.
No, but like Casey Boy of Preston and Steve.
He didn't care.
No, he didn't. Not only does he not care,
I'll talk to him during one.
Right. Like, I'm out.
I'll leave the door open. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm uncomfortable.
Coach Camille will go crazy, and he'd walk in there, and I would walk in there, and I'd know he was in there, and I'd just start talking to him, and it would drive him nuts.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Like, I'd be in there like, and I, even if I didn't have to go where I had to sit down, I would go and sit down and just pretend.
I don't want
just just to irk him.
I don't want talk at the urinal. I don't want talking from the stall. I want you to do your business and leave.
One of my greatest memories of this radio station, I have a picture of Andrew and I shared a moment, urinal to urinal, with John Travolta.
I remember when he was doing the media tour. I remember when he was doing the media tour.
I was telling somebody this story the other day, and I pulled up the picture of me and Andrew out here in the green room.
Was he trying to play footsies with you?
No, he was not trying to play footsies, but I was reminded of that picture of he and I, and we stood there, and we enjoyed a moment where we had a nice moment where we were going to the bathroom and just kind of chit-chatting it up. Like, we weren't talking about, like, Grease or anything like that.
You're the one that I want?
Yeah, I mean...
Who?
It's right. Where the hell's the damn picture? Maybe I deleted it.
Why would you delete something like that? Did you take a picture of him at the urinal?
No. We were, this is...
So if it's just a picture with Travolta, I believe you.
Yeah.
But the fact that you guys were having a full-blown conversation, you were at the urinal, not in the stall.
No, we were at the urinal. I was going, he was going.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah.
I would be very uncomfortable with that.
Yeah, I had no problem with it.
I have no interest in anybody discussing anything in the bathroom. Get in, get out, get on your way.
I mean, we should have talked about flying or something. He's a big pilot.
Oh, there you go. All right, A.J. Brown. After the game last night, we don't even need to play the cut. He was being asked about what was the meeting about, and he was being like, I don't know what meeting you're talking about. I don't know what so
I love when these guys play coy, like we're some kind of idiot.
And he's got a big smile on his face.
Yeah.
And he's not answering the question.
Just say it.
Let's go to the breaking news desk, and Ray Dunn has a tweet that A.J. Brown put out there. Right.
Yes, A.J. Brown. Just to clear this up, that wasn't a meeting or a sit-down. I said, I don't recall because it got painted like there was tension and Say had to step in. That's not true. I was walking to my car, saw them, and stopped to talk. Nothing more.
So he stopped his car?
He was walking to his car, saw them, and stopped to talk to them. Nothing more.
Hey, boys, what are you guys doing? Are you going to get wings? So, like, that might have been about it.
Here's the Travolta picture. It's excellent.
That's a good picture, right? Like,
he's a handsome man, even being bald.
Yeah.
So, hold on. So
what do you mean even being bald? I'm bald.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Two bald, handsome bald men right there.
Catching a lot of shrapnel today in here, Ray.
You pull off the bald. So hang on.
I haven't been here for 6 years, and I've caught more shrapnel today.
Well, get used to it. So he's denying the meeting happened?
What he's saying is that there wasn't a meeting or a sit down, and that there was no tension between them because the way he says it got painted was that there was tension, and Saquon had to step in between Jalen and him. He doesn't like it the way that it was painted that way.
But that's not the way it was painted. It was painted that the three leaders.
Revisionist.
It was painted as the three leaders on offense sat down to try to work through their problems. And it was hours. And it was hours long.
And nobody said anything about Saquon having to step in between. I didn't hear that at all. Did you hear that at all?
No. That's the way he's looking at it. How come I can never see his tweets? We talked about this earlier in the week.
I don't know.
Wait.
Read the tweet again.
Whoa. Are you blocked from A.J. Brown?
No, but for whatever weird reason, you can't.
His Twitter, for some reason, doesn't pop up for people. I've had the same problem. Just to clear this up, that wasn't a meeting or a sit-down. I said I don't recall because it got painted like there was tension and Saquon had to step in. That's not true. I was walking in my car, saw them, and stopped to talk. Nothing more.
So he's denying the meeting happened.
Right.
I mean, that's
a violation.
I can read the. There you go. The soundboards are back up. I can read the Kempsky tweet, and I'll pull it up right now that he said, because the way that it was portrayed was whether it was set up by the team, because it never to me felt like. Tell me if you guys disagree with this. It never felt like to me that it was. Saquon was like, "Listen, you two brats, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk, and you're going to iron out your differences." The feeling that I got was it was the quarterback, the star running back, and the star wide receiver were going to sit down and they were going to figure out the direction of this offense and maybe get things off their chest.
I have his tweet. I have, and again, like Ray said, just to clear this up, that wasn't a meeting or a sit down. Like we're treating this like it's a mob sit down, right? He said, I said, quote, I don't recall, end quote, because it got painted like there was tension and SA, meaning Saquon, had to step in.
So say that.
That's not true.
So say he's played.
I was walking to my car, saw them, stopped to talk, nothing more.
Jimmy Kepski, I'm told Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley had a long, positive conversation today. Lasted a couple of hours. Like, not that they had a long conversation. Lasted a couple of hours. That's much different than he was walking to his car and they talked.
Yeah, very different.
Oh, dude, this
See, when we
team
get all
is
this
so
lying,
cooked.
when you get all this lying about what happened, something happened.
This team is so cooked. Literally, this team is so cooked. Not even on the field. They can't even agree if they talked or not. Yeah, Jalen answered questions about it. He didn't say that. Saquon Barkley, didn't he answer questions about it? Yeah. Oh, my God, dude. All right, more on this coming up. 610-632-0975.
See, the thing that doesn't make sense is why lie about it?
I mean, honestly, it feels more like what AJ's saying is the truth than what else is being said. He's giving you detail of he talked to him on his way to the car.
Yeah, and he
All
said,
right, this is coming up. Don't go anywhere.
crazy.
It's Middays with Marks, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
I don't know. Things just aren't going well around here right now. I'm really done with this Fanatic Sports Update. The latest news here is A.J. Brown denying there was a meeting between Saquon Barkley, him, and Jalen Hurts in a tweet that just came out this hour. So now we're playing Twitter investigator to figure out whether or not there was a meeting, wasn't a meeting. What didn't work for them last night was the offense. Again, they didn't score in the second half. There was a big interception late in a big moment. They lost by 17 points to the New York Football Giants. They are now 4-2. They need to figure out the offense, and I guess we have to figure out now the dynamics of what's going on inside of NovaCare. Across the street, the season's over. The Phillies lost 2-1 in 11 innings. They were eliminated by the Dodgers in 4 games. The top 3 in the lineup went 1 for 14. There was the walk-off that was obviously the error from Ryan Kirkering that sent the Dodgers to the NLCS. And Kyle Schwarber talked about the end for this group.
Our group, even though we were down, 2 games, I just felt like that we had a group that was. We've shown that we've been able to overcome a lot of different things, and I felt really deep down in my heart that this was a team that was going to do it.
And they didn't. And oh, by the way, the Flyers lost their opener 2-1 to the Panthers as well. 0-3 last night, Philadelphia sports. This update's brought to you by ExpressPros.com. Getting a new job can be easier with Express Employment Professionals. With Express, you'll have a local connection in the job market. Get started at ExpressPros.com to find a location near you. I'm Ray Dunn, on your home for the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Here we go. Martinez in today.
Rome is burning.
Harry May's back on Monday. I don't know what we're going to do for the rest of the week, but Harry May's back on Monday.
Who is he?
Middays with Marks. All right, so let's set it up. So Jimmy Kempski, do I still have this tweet up? Jimmy Kempski tweets out that I'm told Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Saquon Barkley had a long, positive conversation today. Lasted a couple of hours. So that's before, and it's a short week. Is that Monday, Ray Dunn, or Tuesday? It's before they spoke to the media.
It was Monday.
All right. So Kempski puts that out there. Again, they had a long, positive conversation. Lasted a couple of hours. To me, the lasted a couple of hours, my reaction was, what do you mean it lasted a couple of hours? What are they doing?
Well, first of all, a couple-hour conversation does not ever happen in a parking lot.
No, so that's
take that out.
That's that. All right.
These are two separate conversations if there are two.
Saquon Barkley was asked about the meeting. Here's Saquon.
Yeah, we had a conversation, but I'm not going to speak too much on it. I feel like that conversation is meant to stay between us, but focus was all about the team, and I think it was a good thing.
Yeah, we had a conversation. That doesn't sound like we met for hours. Saquon Barkley. Here is Jalen Hurts answering the same question.
Man, it's just us talking about the collective, talking about taking ownership for what we can, and talking about how we move forward as a team so we continue to find ways to win games.
Why is the need for a meeting, do you think?
Just really just teammates being teammates.
What was your takeaway conclusion of the meeting?
I don't want to make this about that, right? We got a short week. We got the division opponent coming in here. I enjoyed every second of it, and I'm enjoying every second of every opportunity we have to improve. And so that's what I've always made it about. That's what I'll continue to make it about.
Yeah, the answer is, like we're good. Everybody's on the same page. We got the Giants coming in here. We're ready to go. Instead of that, A.J. Brown after the game, because he didn't speak during the week, right? So he wasn't asked about it. He's asked about it after the game. Here's A.J. Brown.
I don't recall the meeting. Oh, okay. The meeting never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. Those guys said it did happen. Oh, you ain't talked to them. You weren't in the meeting? I don't recall.
I don't recall. So a lot of
being coy.
A lot of people thought like, well, he just didn't want to answer the question, so he says he doesn't recall until he tweets out and what's the
parking lot?
Yeah, he tweets out that
AJ Brown is open as his Twitter handle.
Yeah, he tweets out the following. I don't know if it's been deleted yet. Just to clear this up, that wasn't a meeting or a sit down. I said I don't recall because it got painted like there was tension, and Saquon had to, and it says S.A., and S.A. had to step in. That's not true. I was walking to my car, saw them, and we stopped to talk. Nothing more. And I believe him. That'd be a pretty weird story to make up. I believe him.
Is the only place we heard multiple hour sit down Jimmy Kempski?
I mean, I don't know. I honestly, because
I didn't hear Jalen say that, and I didn't hear Saquon say that.
No, because Saquon, looking at it like this, Saquon obviously didn't answer the question. Because if you listen to Saquon's answer, there was no reason to believe that they actually sat down and had this long conversation. It sounded like, after hearing what AJ said, that it's more of what AJ, because Jalen doesn't say anything anyway, so you never know what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah. I have a feeling like they ran into each other in the parking lot, and they said, "Look, dudes, we got to get on the same page. We got to get this thing straightened out. We'll deal with all of our other BS after the season or whatever." But I'm not saying Jimmy Kempski made something up.
No, this was given to him.
I'm saying somebody gave him something.
Right.
Because Jimmy Kempski doesn't make things up out of the clear blue sky like that.
Ray, that was damage control from the team. And AJ probably, you know what happens when that comes out? Because to think that AJ Brown doesn't know that story comes out there, of course he does.
Of course
he does. So Ray, what do you think AJ's reaction after it comes out? If the story isn't, if that's BS that was given to Jimmy, what's AJ's reaction all week?
Oh, he's mad.
He's mad because he knows what's being done. That's being put out there as damage control.
But this all exists in the context post his tweet and who his tweet was about in the building, and the speculation that his tweet had something to do with Jalen Hurts. So from his perspective, Even if, and I have a hard time believing that we didn't, or at least I didn't, say something to the extent of, oh, look, good that Saquon got those two guys together and talk. I have a hard time believing that I didn't say that at all because I wanted to. Monday, I complained. These two need to stop acting like, teenagers trying to interact with one another without interacting with one another. They just need to talk. And when that Saquon thing came out, it was good. Like, it almost feels like Eagles PR listened to me complain on Monday. It was like, well, we're going to get the simpletons like Ray with this. And that's where this went.
See, I think this. I think that all signs point to AJ being the bad apple. So I think AJ finally said, you know what? I'm being painted as the bad apple by perception, by whatever. So I got to minimize this. We ran into each other in the parking lot. We hashed it out. Saquon didn't have to jump in between the two of us. That's ridiculous.
And but that, I mean, and I don't think, to me it was never portrayed like that. But to your point, we've seen AJ before feel like that he was being scapegoat, and he was because when this happened before,
well, he does do some things to scapegoat himself by reading on the sideline.
No, agreed. But I think a lot of people, especially in 2023, blamed him because he has bad body language on the sideline.
I do agree with that.
Right? Like so,
agree with that. Yep.
And to what we were just talking about, if he doesn't put that tweet out, none of that damage control probably happens.
No, this is all behind closed doors.
He puts the tweet out. Now everybody's like, oh, man, what's he talking about? He's mad at Jalen. And then they lose the game. So now the damage control of the game is, hey, everybody, listen, it's fine. We know they're struggling right now, but our 3-star leaders of the offense, everybody are on the same page. Because Saquon, and honestly, I see where AJ's coming from right now. Saquon's looked at as the star that needs to get between them because Saquon's looked at as
he's sane.
He's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
He just ran for 2,000 yards. Like, he's the one that's gonna. There's a divide between the quarterback and the wide receiver. And Saquon's gonna be the one to bridge it.
Well, there's also a thing of this. Wide receivers, star receivers, are bananas for the most part. That's the perception. Star-level quarterbacks are divas. And star running backs are pretty normal guys.
They really are.
They really are pretty normal guys.
Derrick Henry's looked at as the guy, just give him the ball. He's going to get the yards. He doesn't cause
pretty
problems.
Normal guy, yeah.
Yeah, who's the biggest diva running back?
I mean, who?
I don't think there is one.
I mean,
Shady?
Emmett wasn't.
Yeah, Shady?
Yeah. I mean, Shady wasn't a diva. He was just a kind of a bad guy.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
You know what I mean?
All right, coming up. We have some text to finish up with everything. Ray's got that for you. Also, see, AJ doesn't realize he's just making this a bigger story now by putting that out there.
Yeah, just let sleeping dogs lie. Shut up about it.
Anybody else now see when I say that this is a mess and this is a big problem?
Yeah, well, it's becoming a brush fire. That is what it's becoming.
In California.
Oh, God.
Marks and Middays. Middays with Marks. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Philadelphia is a sport.
right, we're back. Jason Martinez making his return to the Fanatic.
Did the Eagles play this weekend?
Yeah, they play Sunday again.
No, they don't. You almost had me, damn it.
The wheels
I
were
was almost going, holy cow, that's a really short turnaround.
What is going on back there?
Yeah, that would have been a major problem.
All right.
No, they had the week and a half off, and then they play the Vikings in Minnesota.
They have a mini bye week, as we like to say.
Pardon
in the
the
business. Yeah. Joe in North Jersey. Joe, you're getting on the air because we're limited in time because I like the comment that you're going to say. Joe, go ahead.
Okay, when are we going to stop protecting the quarterback? I called you last week and said the same thing.
Yep.
Like he's an average thrower of the football at best. I don't want to hear that he's not elite. And when we fall behind, we're in trouble. And by the way, can we run the ball outside?
Hold on a sec. Joe, hold on one sec. They fell way behind in that one game, didn't they, against the Rams?
Yeah, one half of football when the other team's playing prevent.
No, but you said they fall behind and he can't ever come back.
Okay, he did one time.
He's done it more than one time.
So hang on. I would say, Joe, I would say it like this. When the Eagles become predictable on offense when they're throwing the ball,
he's not very good.
That is not where you want the Eagles to be when they're predictable throwing the ball.
I agree with you, but I'm tired of everybody saying the offensive line is horrible.
Why do you hate him so much?
Because I think he's a product of circumstance. I think he's been lucky to have won. I think the team's loaded, and when he has to carry the team and do something above, he cannot.
Dude, he was great in the Super Bowl. Dude, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yes, Jason, I did. He threw for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. And by the way, the defense was the MVP of that game. Anybody who knows football will tell you.
Look, I'm playing a little devil's advocate with you because I don't think that he is this all-star thrower of the football or an elite quarterback. I don't. I think that he is a great game manager. I think he's a winner.
How about this? He's a better football player than he is a quarterback.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I mean, look, we are now, 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 57 seconds in the show, and you finally made a point that makes sense.
Thank you.
So, congratulations.
Yeah. There's a reason why he has success, right? There's a reason why he's been a Super Bowl MVP and he outplayed Pat Mahomes in a second. But when he is struggling, he really struggles. And when he's confident throwing the football, and you know what he needs to be confident throwing the football? Offensive line protection and great chemistry with his receivers.
And good play calling, John.
And good play calling. You're right. And he's not getting that right now.
He is. This Kevin Petula is a major problem. And I don't believe in firing coordinators midway through a season. I think that's diminishing returns.
It's got to be being thought about who they bring in. It has to.
At minimum, it's got to be somebody else has to be calling the plays.
Well, they can't wait for a plan B based on what happened with Brian Johnson.
Call plays again?
I hope not.
I hope not too.
You bring back Doug?
He's not very good. See, I talked about this the other day. Would that be the greatest storyline in the world?
Doug comes in.
As the play caller.
Well, Frank Reich wasn't coaching in college.
And he wasn't a head coach here, though.
Right.
But there's a statue of Doug and you know what I mean?
Not really a statue,
but whatever. He was a head coach that won the first
Super Bowl, right?
And he's going to come in and now work for his replacement.
No, he's not.
In a weird way, though, John, I think that Doug may go for it because he's such a goofball.
No, I see. Doug's not. Doug has more play calling experience and success than Sirianni, because Sirianni has none. Like as far as success, he's been a disaster when he's called plays. Yeah. But see, to me, you'd be better off getting a young guy that maybe has a real knack for. All I'm saying is this: that I'm not blaming Petula for everything at all, but
I'm blaming him for a lot.
If you're smart, and the Eagles are smart, sometimes they're not always smart, but if they're smart, they're going to be saying, "Hey, if this gets worse, what are we doing?" Because with Brian Johnson, they waited too long, and then when Sirianni tried to bail him out, he couldn't.
Yeah.
And then they were just screwed.
Yeah. Here's the thing we know about Howie. Howie will make trades up until the deadline. Why wouldn't he make a trade that way in a play caller up until the deadline?
Well, at the very least, you bring in a guy, and like we saw it with
they can't keep Adoree Jackson. They can't.
Well,
John, he sucks.
I know. You would hope that the problem is Keely Ringo's worse.
Very true. That's a major problem.
Text line, Ray Dunn. What do we got?
What do you want? Eagles, Phils?
I don't care. Whatever you think.
We'll keep with the Eagles here. I don't care what anyone else says. This is what will happen. Eagles will not be winning the division. Jalen Hurts isn't as great as we think he is. Just because he wins doesn't mean he's a great quarterback. He hasn't won the last 2 games, and just by the eye test, the last 2 games, teams have flat out figured out how to fluster him. Barkley is only a shell of himself. The offensive line is beat up and bad. Hurts holds the ball too long. These issues will not be fixed this season. Mark my words.
I don't disagree with that.
Did he put his name to that?
It was unnamed texter.
Yeah. A ballless texter, right? To not put his name on. Like, put your name on that, dude.
Well, we got to train. I would have to just remind people. Maybe it's a new texter that doesn't know they should.
Well, yeah.
Regardless,
put your name on.
The one thing I would disagree with is I don't believe Saquon's a shell of himself. Saquon looked good in the first half when they gave him the ball last night. Right? Like, look at the amount of yards that Saquon had last year before contact. And with Saquon, you get him rolling, good luck. Now you're putting him against a linebacker that's not going to get him, and then he'll run over a defensive back. You know what I mean? Like, so the problem is not Saquon Barkley. The problem is the offensive line and the health.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
To the texter's notion. Did the Eagles in the second half of the Kansas City game, or wait, what is it? No, the second half of the Rams game and the first half of the Tampa Bay game, did he look figured out? Did all of a sudden he look like he was figured out?
I would say no.
Like, how good was he in that
When
second
he's good,
half?
he's good. When he's not, he's not.
And how good was he in that first half in 115-degree heat?
Well, even in 2023 that we're talking about a lot today, he was coming back in all of these games.
Yeah.
It felt like that if it was a one-score game, you want the ball with Jalen Hurts, he's not going to lose.
Yeah.
And that was,
that's a measure of greatness.
It is. Honestly, it is. So for people that want to call in and be like, Jalen Hurts sucks, I hear what you're saying. He also, who would you rather have with the ball in your hands? Him? Or I'm trying to think of
Or Brock Purdy.
Yeah. Donovan.
Oh, my God. Don't even.
I'm embarrassed.
I cannot open that scar tissue.
He's the anti-Donovan.
He is.
He really, because Donovan has a better arm. He's a better thrower.
No, he's a better athlete.
Right? Yeah, but Jalen, there's not many players. Okay, one drive to go in the game. Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts. Who would you rather have with the ball? Ray Dunn.
Ooh.
Well, you don't need to think about it that long.
All right.
It's Jalen.
It's Jalen. Because Lamar hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Nearly to the same frequency.
My problems with Lamar and that Ravens team, we could do a whole show on. I think every time they get into a playoff game, they want to showcase him as a passer instead of showcasing what they do all season long.
Right.
And they run into problems.
Which is Travis Henry.
But as far as big moments, Jalen rises, man. He does. Whether he's running or whatever. So it's not.
He does. You're right.
He has it. He has it.
Yeah.
And
this notion that the NFL figured him out, though, and the first half of that Tampa Bay game in 115-degree heat, he was insanely good.
And then adjustments were made, and that's where you can go to coaching.
And look at also that second half. How many 3-and-outs did he have to go back? There was one time at 92 seconds of real time, he had to go back out on the field. That's Chip Kelly-esque.
And Chip Kelly's a disaster. And
just a total gong
with
show.
the Raiders. It's awesome.
Right?
All right, dude, good stuff.
Good stuff.
Good to have you back.
Yeah,
maybe. Good to have you back.
We'll think about it.
Ray Dunn, have a good weekend. Are you doing play-by-play all weekend?
Sunday, yeah. My Sunday off from pregame will be.
You doing field hockey?
2 soccer games.
Oh, ESPN Plus?
That's right.
Did you do a goal?
You and Mike are the same with that. No.
So you're boring. Okay.
Yes, very.
Gotcha.
Ricky's fired up, by the way.
Coming up next, Unfiltered with